Hello. Can everybody hear me? Let me hear my. So, there you go. I can hear myself. Alright. All right, so it's working. Um, Salute to everybody in the chat. Let me do my traditional shout outs before I start. We got Rat Pack's Trucking Company. Salute to you, brother. We got King Loma. Salute. We got L Dogs. Excuse me, Brandon Blanco. I don't know about that. I'm the king of my household, but I heard that place is a pretty nice town. There's certain areas that are pretty nice. Salute to the good people from that area. Got L Dogs who says sup rec. Jesus Christ, man. Is that really cool? Nah, that's not it. That's whatever. I'm not your daddy. Get lost. All right, so you guys can hear me pretty. I guess you can hear me pretty good. And that's what counts. That you guys can hear me. Yeah, boxing is pretty dead, man. Obviously, there's we're at the end of we're at the end of the year. We're gonna start 2022, and we'll see where boxing is going. This weekend that just passed, probably probably the last weekend of boxing, right? We were supposed to get some. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on this weekend. As far as I'm concerned, there's no fights that I would be interested in. We were supposed to have obviously Triple G and Morata, but that didn't happen. Because that bullshit that's going around, that scam. So that fight is not, the fight had to get postponed. I don't know if they plan to, make that fight on a future date. Hopefully they do. But it takes obviously it's going to take the steam off the fight. These are two guys that haven't been active in a long time, so you're just talking about more time off. So I don't know. We'll see if the fight happens. If they make this fight on a future date. You had Zerto beating Gonzalez, old man Gonzalez, Ioninski, another Cuban fighter, with the fucking with these communist fucking first names, Ioninski, Starlin, and he had him crying in the ring too. I don't know what that shit's about, man. Look, I understand some people get emotional because there's a lot of emotional people that talk about boxing on YouTube, a whole lot. But that crying stuff, like, whatever, bro. It's not my thing. So Zerto beats him. I think he should be stepping up in competition. If he's going to be fighting at light heavyweight, there's some fights that he can have. There's Callum Smith. I'd like to see him have a fight with him. I think he might be the number one, the mandatory for Dimitri Bivol's strap. Just make these fights happen. Hopefully 2022 brings us that. What else? What else? Oh, of course, I can't forget the main event, the clown show. The big clown show, right? Which was Jake Paul. I think it's Jake Logan. It really doesn't matter to me. I do not pay no attention to these fighters, but I saw the highlights, of course. I saw the knockout of, basically it's just a YouTuber novice who's, I think anybody can get in that type of shape. I'm being honest, man. Anybody could get into that type of shape. And when I say anybody, I mean anyone who's in the situation that he's in is young enough that if they wanted to pick up boxing for exercises purposes and maybe make a little bit of money, and you match them against guys who don't know how to fight, who don't know how to box, who are not traditional boxers, I think you could do exactly what Jake Paul did, and I think it's Jake. And so he knocks out a guy who's basically not even a boxer, right? Tyron Woodley. And it was a pretty nasty knockout, but if you see the way Tyron Woodley fights, you would know that if you trained, if you had the same training and you came from no boxing background, you can do the same thing to Woodley more than likely. All right, so whatever. I hope he fights Canelo. I really do. I hear him calling out Canelo. It needs to happen just to get this clown show out of the way. Let him get killed. I don't give a fuck. I hope Canelo knocks him out in the same fashion as Jake Paul knocked out Woodley. And then, of course, you had, to me, the best fight of the card of the weekend, or at least the fight that I was looking forward to, was Beterbiev and Brown. And, that fight pretty much went exactly the way I thought it would. I thought that the fight would be decent early. Brown would start fading out because Beterbiev is levels above him, and just break him down. Just start breaking him down and stopping him somewhere in the mid to late rounds. And what he did, he stopped him in the eighth. That fight had a little bit of drama. I think most of that was caused by the headbutt from Marcus Brown. He had him bleeding all over his face, down to his trunks. It had all that. And at one point, I think the doctors were thinking about stopping the fight. And so, yeah, man. Not shocked at all. I think, I would like to see Beterbiev in better fights. I mean, look, Marcus Brown was a decent opponent. He put up a decent fight, but you saw what happened basically in the end. He couldn't take it anymore. I think those body shots and that pressure, man, it really got to him. And, he just he had enough, so he checked out. Time to see Beterbiev, maybe fight, unified the belts. There's fights he can have there. There's always, of course, the whole Canelo thing. But if not that, Canelo's going to go up to cruiserweight and then heavyweight, some fucking freakish fights. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. But there's other fights you can have, at light heavyweight. There's a lot of fighters there he can fight. He can fight, of course, Dimitri Bivol. He can fight Joe Smith, Zurdo, Callum Smith. You know the guys, right? Just make these fucking fights happen. That's all you got to do. These fights need to happen. A shout out to my boy Jet Cow. What's going on, bro? Jet Cow, El Dog. Nah, I don't like that fight. I don't like it. Yes, I'm from Kazakhstan. You can't hear the accent? Yeah. Look at that profile face. I mean, it could be a little bit Russian. You never know. Kevin from Chicago. That's a long story. I don't really want to get into that. All right, so like I said, man, there's not too much boxing going on. So it's an open topic. Anybody can bring up whatever they want. Um, bring up any topic that has to do with boxing, fights that you would like to see happen, um, what you would like to see happen in the future, the bullshit, whatever you guys want to talk about, man. So I am going to drop the link in the chat. There it is. All right. There it is. Is Floyd going broke? I mean, I hear a lot of rumblings, man. Look, I'm not one to do research on whether or not the pay-per-views are fake, but it wouldn't surprise me if these pay-per-view events are trash, in reality, and they're making them out to be something that they're really not, right? It's much lower than what they're really reporting. It wouldn't surprise me at all. That's what we're dealing with today. Salute, Blanco, Brandon.
Salute to the
What's
mighty.
going on?
Salute to the mighty YTBC. Salute to you, Recognize. I'm excited for 2022. Like I kind of feel a little bit more excited than I was at the start of this year. Like, to be honest, I didn't expect anything from 2021. 2021 has surprised me a lot. Like, we've had some upsets. Like, for example, AJ versus Usyk. I didn't think Usyk was gonna beat him, and he proved me wrong.
Yep.
Or Kambosos versus Teofimo. Like, I didn't think Kambosos stood a chance against Teofimo, and like, he proved me wrong. Like, I mean, I hope we get bigger and better things. Hopefully, we can get some of the fights that we've wanted out of the way. Like, for example, Crawford versus Spence. I mean, I've been wanting this fight for a long time, although some people have said, you know what, it's not going to happen. I just hope it will happen. Hopefully, I'm not sure when, but hopefully we might get it by 2022. So, I mean, there's bigger and better things. I kind of see it, the glass half full rather than half empty. So, and that's what I can do as a fan of boxing, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I like to see these fights happen. Of course. We want to see all these fights happen. But am I hearing this correct? Earl Spence got something. It's got like a
He's fighting
mandatory.
against Ugas
Okay, so he's fighting Ugas, right? That I
for
heard.
three-belt unification. The WBA approved it.
WBA approved it. Okay, nice. No, they should make the fight happen.
They should,
Obviously,
and
get that out of the way.
I don't think Spence should overlook Ugas, because I think Ugas, he's a I think he does this everything right. He like, there's nothing, he doesn't stand out as much, but he does everything right. Like, he has a good power, good jab, good boxing skills. Like, he does everything right by the book. So I don't think Spence should overlook Ugas. I think that would be dangerous to overlook Ugas. Um, but I still favor Spence overall. I think he'll beat him by decision pretty much. So, but who knows? That'd be a fun fight. However, I've been a little disappointed by the PBC. I mean, not surprisingly, of course, because some of the fights that aren't pay-per-view worthy are pay-per-view worthy. Like, I don't know if you've heard, but Thurman versus Barrios, that's a pay-per-view word. That it's on
Garbage.
pay-per-view, although it
Yeah.
shouldn't be. It should be on regular Fox. I mean, to me, I don't have a problem with the fight, because I mean, Thurman hasn't fought in like 24 months. He hasn't fought in like 2 years.
Over that. His last fight
Oh yeah,
was
more than that,
in
exactly. And
July of
it sh-
2019.
and it should be on regular Fox instead of pay-per-view, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
look,
even the card is trash itself. So
it's not a pay
yeah,
per view. It's not a. But that fight by itself would just be like on and part of an undercard. of a main event fight, but yet they're going to sell it as as if Keith Thurman is a star who's been fighting, for a while or left the scene on top, somehow. But no, that's not. You're getting a guy who's more likely he's retired, like he's already halfway there, which means once you're halfway there, you're pretty much retired. He's just hoping to get one more fight,
One more
maybe.
payday fight.
Yeah, so like, don't be surprised he beats Barrios. I mean, Barrios got stopped by a Tank, right? So
By Tank, exactly. And to be honest, I think Barrios took a dive. To be honest, I think he just quit. To be honest, he just
yeah,
took a
I
way
mean,
out.
listen, a lot of people felt that he didn't give his best, but even if that wasn't the case, he still who's Barrios that you're gonna put this on a fucking on a pay per view. You're gonna
Exactly.
make people pay for this fight. I think we got somebody else. Let's see what we got. Oops. Oh man, Outlaw,
Oh, that's
Outlaw,
Jed, of course. Yeah,
What's
Outlaw.
going on? What's
What's
going
going
on,
on,
lad?
bro?
what's going
What's going
on?
on, my bro? What's
Oh,
going on, Brendan? What's going on, bro?
recognize. I forgot to say I finally got my driver's license after 4 years. Finally got my driver's license. So
Wait. Did
last
you?
week.
Was it suspended? Your license or what happened?
No, I've never gotten my driver's license at all.
Oh
I've
yeah.
never. So
Don't feel
finally.
bad, man. I didn't get my. I didn't get a. I drove from like pretty much from like 16. I was driving
Mm.
like maybe other people's cars and shit. I didn't get my license until I was about like maybe I don't know 21, 22, something like that.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
21, so I got it.
Yeah.
It took
I
me
didn't
three
officially get
tries to
my
get it.
license. I didn't officially get my license till like 20. And trust me, I failed because not because I can't drive. It's because I've been used to driving so long, but I would drive a little too fast for these morons, and they're like, "You can't be driving that fast. Just stop right here." I know I failed right there when they said that. But anyway, what do you guys thought about the knockout, the great knockout from Jake Paul over Woodley? Think that was brutal.
I've only seen the knockout. That's fucking,
Oh
yeah.
man.
That's embarrassing, bro.
I mean, he might as well knock him out. If you're just gonna stand the way he's standing. Like he's not. There's nothing. How can I say? It's just he looks like a street fight, like a dude who doesn't know that you can't just stand there like that, bro. You're gonna get knocked the fuck out. I didn't see the fight, just saw the knockout. I just said to myself, I mean, does he understand that you can't just stand on a straight line and just walk into somebody and just get knocked the fuck out? But that's what I saw, man.
I didn't pay no attention. I just saw the knockout, but all I could say is Woodley should have just left this alone, bro. I mean, I'm sure he got paid or whatever, but fuck, bro, he prostituted he got what would they say, buck broken? Woodley got buck broken in this whole situation, bro.
Yeah, he's now a meme pretty much. But to be honest, I didn't give a shit about the fight, and I just watched the knockout when I was scrolling to Twitter, and then my brother was saying, "Did you saw Jake Paul knocking out Tyron Woodley?" I was like, I don't give a shit about that fight. To be honest, I kind of thought Woodley, based on the way he was standing, um, I kind of felt like Tyron Woodley he took a dive. To be honest, I kind of feel he did took a dive because based on the way he was standing, like he just let it happen. So, and that seems suspicious to me. So yeah,
Oh, I just think he can't box, bro. I think he just has
yeah,
no idea what he's doing.
that too. But the first fight he gave Jake Paul problems, but yeah,
I can't really talk on it because I haven't seen any of the fights, just that knockout.
yeah.
But I know
But
Woodley from MMA, and Woodley never had much
yeah,
boxing.
Woodley he's a good MMA fighter. That's
But not a boxer though. Even in
yeah.
MMA, he only ever had an overhand right. Like he was even limited. Like and he needed to land that overhand right by setting up it like setting it up with his takedown. So taking away his takedowns, he's even more limited. I'd say Woodley's not much of a. He's not a boxer at all. You know, he has pretty much no boxing skills. So,
No boxing skills. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not. You know, I think that was. And plus he's 40 years old, so his reactions and that are probably all gone as well. And his whole thing was relying on he was one of them fighters that he relied on his athleticism. That was one of the main things, you know, more so than really being that skilled. He was like an explosive athlete. So yeah, I don't know, but either way, it's embarrassing. Got knocked out by a YouTuber.
It's been embarrassing.
It's not a good look. So you know.
Then he landed face first, man.
Did anyone see his mum screaming at some guy after the fight? That shit was funny. I'll send it to you, recognize.
Yeah, send it to me. I got to see that.
Yeah, his mum was screaming at some interviewer. She asked him what went wrong. The interviewer goes, "What went wrong for Tyrone Woodley tonight?" She goes, "What the fuck do you think, motherfucker?"
What kind of question is that, you fucking asshole?
And he asked it to his mum. What kind of question?
What went wrong tonight? Everything went wrong, you motherfucker.
And he's asking the dude's mum, bro. He's asking the dude's mum that. And then she was getting dragged away. She goes, "What went wrong with you, motherfucker?"
Yeah, man.
But
I like the only fight
go
that
ahead.
I saw, the only fight that I watched, you know, the whole fight through, that I was only interested in was Beterbiev and Marcus Brown. I knew he was gonna beat Brown. You know, like that. That's not, you know, nothing shocking, and I wouldn't say, "Oh, what a masterful performance." But that was the fight that I was mostly interested in, and I thought, you know, basically from that fight, it's just put him. You know, it's time. I know it's not him. Just put him in there with the best guys, because what are you selling Beterbiev as, right? Like, if he's not fighting, you know, he's got two straps. If he's not fighting for like unification, or, you know, if he gets the Canelo fight, I don't really care about the Marcus Browns of the world. Like, I know he's gonna do that to guys like that.
Yeah, I agree.
You get what I'm saying? You know,
yeah,
like,
the
it's time
Marcus
for
Brown
him.
fight, it would have been cool like 4 or 5 years ago, but Beterbiev's running out of time, so he doesn't need good opponents. He needs like those super fights, you know, like the elite, the big fights. He needs the Bibbles, Canelos, you know, things like that at this stage. I agree.
Yeah, man. Triple J is right, man. The way Beterbiev was shifting his feet. Yeah, of course, man. He does that, and he really does that in every fight, man. He does that, and I like how, like, how fluid he does it too. You know what I'm saying? He just does it really fluid, and he lands these shots, man. It doesn't off the, you know, off the rip, so to speak. You know, it doesn't look like he's putting much into that punch, but when you hear it land, it has this loud fucking sound, man. And he's like really, you know, calm too. You know, like, I'll give him that. Like, he's got all this blood coming out. It's like, it just makes him, you know, speed up the process. Especially when the doctor was like, yeah, basically, I guess what he was telling the ref, the next time you bring him to me, I'm gonna stop the fight. Because you notice the referee didn't do it again once there was no need to, because you had Beterbiev beating him up. So I don't think there was any. But like, that's the second opponent in a row that Brown. Well, not, I wouldn't say the second opponent in a row, but that's the second boxer where they get this nasty gash from the forehead. You know, he did it to fucking Badu Jack, and now Badu Jack was worse. But, you know, all that blood that Beterbiev, you know, it just. I think it's a sign of desperation when this guy starts getting beat up. You know, tuck his head low a little bit. You know, and if you run into it, that's on you.
Yeah, they need to start calling this Marcus Brown Jason or something. He's like a slasher. He's fucking cutting guys' faces.
Yeah, that's what he is, man. He's fucking Jason, man. Michael. I mean, this guy's just like fucking. You know, everybody always comes out with a weird headbutt. Like
Jason Myers, bro. He's cutting holes in people.
I bet you Beterbiev is gonna have that fucking scar for a long time. That scar's just gonna be there. It was deep. But yeah, I like that fight, man. I I like the performance. I want, I want Beterbiev, and I know it's not his fault, but like try to make that fucking Bivol fight at the very least, you know.
Yeah, even Joe Smith, but I don't think Joe Smith wants to fight him. That was another fight they were talking about making, but
He'll
I
kill
don't
Joe
know.
Smith.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah, he
kill him,
will.
man.
He will.
Outside of Joe Smith, like fucking not landing a big shot that maybe Beterbiev doesn't see coming and maybe hurts him. He doesn't get him out of there. You know, he doesn't get that punch in. He just breaks him down methodically and just probably
Well,
fucking ends up like hurting him real bad.
well, that's what I think they know that. That's why I don't think they want that. It seems like no one wants to fight this guy. Like it's another Golovkin. You know, when Golovkin was at middleweight, 2012, 2011. You know, around that time, it seems to be this lad's in a similar situation. Like no one really wants to fight the guy, especially at 175. You know, I don't even know if Bivol really wants to fight him. I think they're waiting to see him get a bit older, age him out a
Yeah.
bit more. You know.
What is he? 36 now, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Zerto moved up, but Zerto hasn't really fought the best opposition, so his track record doesn't really show that he'll take it. But I don't know. Maybe he might step up and take the fight. But other than that, bro, I don't know. I don't see any light heavyweights wanting to fight this guy or too excited to do it anyway.
What's up, K Doggy? I've never seen this guy before.
What's up, bro? I think
What's
it's
up,
Kevin.
man? What's up, K Doggy? Is this Kevin?
It's probably,
I,
or that's probably El Jefe. I don't know,
did he just mute? Like, did he forget to unmute his mic or something?
or probably his microphone doesn't work. I don't know.
Oh man. Yeah, but whenever you fix your mic, you could just speak, man. Whoever you are. Yeah, I think Joe Smith would be a good fight. I think Callum Smith. I would like to see that fight too. If Callum Smith is, he's now fighting at light heavyweight, and he looks like he has a lot of power up there. You know, maybe those 7 pounds at fucking 6'3", cutting 7 pounds less. You know, at that height,
Yeah, I
is
agree.
probably what he needs.
For me, if I think what Zerdo should do is if Beterbiev and Bivol end up agreeing and fighting each other in Russia, I think Zerdo should take the fight between the winner of Callum Johnson versus Joe Smith. I think Zerdo has a winnable chance of beating either Joe Smith or um, or Callum Johnson. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm saying he has a winnable opportunity to beat either of the two. In case if he doesn't get the Bivol, because if Bivol unifies, so yeah.
Salute Puerto Rican rum. Salute. What's up, Viking?
What's up, man?
So
What's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Same old.
What do you thought about the fights over the weekend, man?
Jake Paul is the GOAT.
Pretty much, man. It's the
When-
biggest news in boxing over the weekend. That was actually the biggest. This is where boxing's at, that
Bro.
Jake Paul knocks out
Bruh.
the guy who's not even a boxer, man.
Bro. That
You know
That
what's
was a
interesting?
vicious knockout, though.
that knockout was special. I've never seen a ringside view. I mean, the ringside cam is a new thing that they added, but I have never seen anybody like get knocked out like that and fucking that close. Like that ringside view fucking was something else. Like that motherfucker, I thought he died.
Yeah, man. It looked bad for him, man. That looked really, really bad for him, bro.
Oh, well.
Whenever you land on your face and there's no moving going on, you got knocked out really fucking bad.
Yeah, I want to like. Has anybody been knocked out like that? Like, I want
I've
to
never
know
been
what.
knocked.
Oh, Williams versus Martinez.
The
Gotta look
closest
at.
thing I ever had happen to me was my lights, and I have to assume that's what it was. I was getting hit several times, multiple by multiple hands, and kicked that I saw black, and then like came out of it like within a second of each other. If you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that's the only thing I could assume. Like, in other words, there was so many hands and feet going at me at one time that I didn't have time to react to getting knocked out. I got knocked out. Somebody woke me up with a kick or a punch. I think it was a kick. So it was like super fast.
yeah. Last summer I went to the Hamptons, like in the Hamptons beach, and I love like playing in the waves. So I went into the one of the waves, but then in the
Oh, you've been to
Hamptons,
the Hamptons? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, just the beach, because like New York Beach, how it gets like ratchet. I don't
yeah.
like so I'd rather go to the Hamptons. So I drove with my girlfriend and like a bunch of her friends and stuff like that. So, but I love playing in the. But Hamptons is like it's like you walk into the water, and once it starts hitting your knees, the water starts hitting your knees. There's like, it's like it's like there's a point where it's like in the middle, like almost halfway into the water, it's like less shallow. So because it goes up,
Yeah.
so you
Because
think that
because
you're like in the middle, but like you're
it
like if
drag you
you're
in quickly because it's the Atlantic Ocean. You're right
yeah
on
yeah
the
yeah.
Atlantic
It's
Ocean. Yeah.
it was like a mountain almost like it was
And
like uphill.
that water could knock you out too.
Yeah
That
yeah yeah.
water
So
hits you and knock you the fuck out.
so what I thought was like, okay, so I'm always like I walked, significantly like a little bit, distance into the water already. So I thought like, okay, I'm like, deep in. But then I walked uphill into the water. So I was like really like in a shallow part. And then I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go under the wave. And then the big wave came in and I tried to duck under, but the wave was so strong. It was like a rip curl. The wave
Yeah.
fucking flipped me over, and then my head hit the bottom of the ocean, and then
Oh yeah, yeah.
my neck cracked and my shoulder popped out because like I hurt my shoulder once I
Ooh,
played
did you
boxing.
get knocked out? Did you get knocked
So I got
out?
knocked out like immediately because the wave was so strong. And then I remember for like 10 seconds, I couldn't, like my shoulder popped out and my neck cracked. So I thought I died for fucking 10 seconds, but nobody was seeing it. I was just there in the middle of the water, like by myself, like knocked out. That was the closest I couldn't feel anything. So I feel like that's what fucking Woodley was feeling. And then after 10 seconds,
Willie definitely felt that, man.
Man, lucky you woke
It's
up. You would have drowned otherwise. You would have been drowning out
yeah,
there.
man. You could have fucking drowned. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I really
How
thought
long did
I
it
died.
took for you to get up?
That's
How
how
long?
people. That's how people drown. That's how you hear like this guy drowned at a beach. A lot of the times it's that they not. It's not because they can't swim. They knock themselves out in a wave and they just drown
Yeah.
underwater. No
Yeah.
And I
one
know
saves
what
them.
Vikings talking about. I know definitely what, because I've been to that Suffolk County, but that's at the ending of the island,
Yeah.
Long Island, right? So it's at the end, and so the further you go into Long Island, eastbound, right? You would say east. You're in the Atlantic Ocean, so it's like once you're in Suffolk County, and Viking, you know this, right?
Yeah.
Once you,
Yeah.
because I go to Sunken Meadows. I don't go over. I've been to like Montauk and I've been to the Hamptons, but
Yeah.
I don't like the water over there. It's too fucking strong. But
Yeah.
even like towards Sunken Meadows and Montauk, if the water the waves are strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not as strong as the Hamptons, obviously, because you way east, you way like towards the Atlantic Ocean, and
Yeah.
so, but it's just as strong. Yeah, that'll knock you out. But going back to the knockout again, like I just imagine. Obviously, he was out before he hit the floor, right? And then the impact probably makes it a little bit worse. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
As soon as I hit the fucking floor, like,
Yeah, I
'cause the
know
weight
Jones
filled
Beach.
me back, like, like it filled me over where my head was, so my neck cracked. And as soon as my neck cracked, for like 5, 6 seconds, I couldn't, like, I had no thoughts. Like, I was just like blanked out. Like, my
Yeah.
body was just floating in there. I feel like, and then that was
When
like,
I
I had
got
like,
knocked when I got knocked out, I know I did, right? Like obviously, you know what happened. It's happening to you. Like I said, I got lucky because when a bunch of people are attacking you, so you're getting hit all over the place. Like you can wake somebody up from a knockout. You can. You can like, let's say somebody gets knocked out cleanly. The safer way to do it, turn him around, rub his back, rub his stomach. Let's say if he's still in, rub his stomach, rub the chest, turn him around, rub the back, like right in the middle of his back, start smacking his neck, but like not smacking it like pa, because that's a shocking not a wake up. When you do that, you kind of like shock the person back up. You know what I'm saying? It could be dangerous. Basically, that's what happened with me, right? With the kicks, boom, 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 boom. And so when I got knocked out, it was like it was within seconds. It was, and people were like, well, you wouldn't know if you got knocked. I'm like, dude, I got knocked out. I saw black, and then boom, up. It was just fucking dark, for that 1 second.
Yeah. It's like a flash thing. Like you can't really, like your whole body freezes and then you're like fucking done. I feel like Woodley was knocked out like before he even hit the canvas.
Vicious, man. But I hope he got paid enough, for that embarrassment. Obviously, whatever money he agreed to must have been good enough for him.
$1 million for getting buck broken, huh?
No, he got paid
But
more
I
than
mean, did you see? Like, I didn't see the fight. Did you see where Woodley was right before he landed that punch? He was like right in front of him. Kind of just put his hands up, like, in this peekaboo stance. All that fucking chin was open. Give credit to Jake Paul for getting through the guard, but it was a guard that was just. It's just like a window. You leave the fucking window open.
He got paid at the expense of him getting humiliated. He's now in a knockout reel, pretty much.
He's in a knockout reel in a 2021 technology. So like all angles, they got every angle. They got drone footage. They got ringside. They got viral. They got TikTok footage.
Can you hear me,
Kevin?
Oh, that's Kevin.
How you doing, Kevin? Finally.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on?
I knew it was because of microphone issues. I knew it.
Yeah.
Yep. You got it.
What's going on in Chirac? Everything all right?
Everything's good. Same shit. You know the deal.
I got
you. Gotta move from Chicago. You can't stay in Chicago. Go move somewhere else.
I think he's in a certain part that's all right.
But not only that, Kevin knows how to move. Kevin knows how to move in Chicago, so it's. I get it. I know he's coming.
I mean, I'm just saying because the grass is green on the other side. If he moves, outside of Chicago, like
come to New York. Come to New York. New York is a lot safer. It's the same politics, but it's a lot safer.
It is. That's true.
So what's up?
Hey,
what do you think? What do you think about these fights?
Brandon, I gotta ask Brandon a question because he said he thought it was the dive when he first talked. He said, I think Woodley took a dive, and I keep seeing that. I keep hearing that a lot. Like people, Woodley took a dive.
He had his hands down. I mean, he was standing there. He was just waiting for him to whack him. I mean, that's just how I'm seeing it. I mean, he just took a dive. I mean, he was just there to make Jake Paul look good.
You think he put his hands down so he can get caught with a shot like that, where he got knocked unconscious, face planted, was knocked out for over a minute, could have died. He could have died from a shot like that. And you think that's just crazy?
Come on! Stop saying that. Oh, he could have died. Come on, he.
Dude, did you see that knockout?
Fine.
That's as brutal as a knockout as there is.
I only saw just the knockout, but that's pretty much it. I didn't pay attention to the fight. I didn't give a shit about that fight, and I'm saying that he just took a dive.
I think that's a knockout you can only score against an MMA guy. Like only an MMA people.
Agree.
Only an MMA guy is gonna be so fucking unaware of like a haymaker coming in that they don't even roll with the punches. They're taking
a washed up MMA guy, a 40-year-old.
Yeah. On top of that, yeah.
Like, dude, like
he wasn't even good.
Yeah, like you're not bending your knees. You're not trying to change the levels. You're just expecting a fucking lazy body shot, and you're not even rolling with the punches. Like if I'm trying to catch somebody's body shot, right? Even if I'm like trying to parry it down, when I missed, and then when he swing it somewhere else, and when I didn't catch the punch, I'm at least trying to roll my head to it. He wasn't doing any of that. He was just like on fucking MMA time. Like, no, bro, this is not MMA.
You know what it was? You know what it was? He thought it was a body shot. Jake Paul lowered his body. He ducked down like he was going to rip to the body. And what happened? He went up top. It's a classic fake low, go high.
Can I say something, Kevin? I want to say something, Kevin. Only a guy like Woodley would have fell for that. If you look at the way
he fell
the way he
dramatically.
feinted, if you look at the way Jake Paul feinted that look, he should have known a normal, because the way he tilted his head was not far enough to go for a vicious body shot. If he was a boxer, he would have picked up on that. First of all, he probably would have not even been in that position. But let's say if he was, he would have known that this guy's just, trying to go up. He's trying to go upstairs with a big.
Yeah, and then if I'm trying to catch it, yeah, exactly. If I'm trying to catch it down, and then like when I'm putting my hands forward, I didn't catch it. I'm at least gonna roll a little bit, like just out of reflex, because I know I already missed. So he's coming up top. But Woodley was just standing there, like not bending his knees, just like trying to catch it up straight, and then he missed the catch, and then he didn't even roll or anything. Like he just got boom, like flash on his face. I was like,
that's the thing about MMA is there's not a lot of body shots in MMA. Like people like throwing to the body.
Yeah,
they're usually head hunting, try to slip those small gloves.
And that's why he fell for that, Kevin.
That's why he fell for it.
Yeah, that's why he would get knocked out like that against a guy. Jake Paul, to me, is a novice. He's a guy who's made some money, an athlete, right? A guy who likes to work out and shit like that. Took up boxing, and he has average, maybe even below average, overall boxing skills. But he can beat a guy that is a washed-up MMA fighter.
Yeah. And he's pissing off the entire MMA base at the same time, though. He's just triggering them.
And they're falling for it. They're falling for it as well.
Yeah,
like what? Yeah. I mean, the MMA.
Well, that makes sense. That all makes sense. What you said, recognize regarding he's an amateur. He's not prepared. Like that all makes sense. But this dive talk, like he threw the fight. He stuck his chin.
I didn't see that dive.
Nobody's getting knocked out like that. They risk getting killed.
I don't think it was no dive, bro. I think he just
no. I mean, listen. If it was a dive, let's say if I would like say you got to give me more money. Yeah. I didn't sign up for that, bitch.
Hey, he got buck broken and knocked out like that. He needs $1 billion for that.
No, I just chalk it up to, look, again, I didn't see the fight, and I just saw the knockout, and I said, look, man, that's what you would expect from a guy who doesn't understand boxing, And Kevin makes a great point about him looked like he was going to the body, but if you really look where Jake Paul positioned his head, a normal boxer would have said, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to fake me like you're going to the body. You're really going upstairs.
Yeah.
And
it's like
that knockout was as brutal as it gets. Like you're not going to find a more brutal knockout.
Yeah. That was if you had to judge it as like one of the most vicious knockouts in the last 6 months, it'll be up there like in top 3 at least.
Like in boxing, even in like medium level, I think that's a haymaker you can only land on a heavy bag, like or an MMA guy. Like that's just like somebody sitting right there, like full flush. Like you're gonna land it with everything.
You gotta think, Jake Paul's a naturally bigger guy too. Like he's got like 20 pounds on him naturally, so he's got that, and he's got natural power. It's not like he's a technical boxer. The one thing he has, he's big and he can punch hard.
Yeah, haymaker.
It's like it's also like it seems like Jake Paul is like a master at picking opponents, even like last minute. It's like he seems to be setting up these shots like up until the 6th round, like he was looking worse than he had ever looked. Like he was looking more gassed than he had ever looked, and he was looking like more wary than he had ever looked. But then like he just set up that shot so perfectly because he know that I don't know. Tyrone was just getting way more lazy than he would ever look in terms of like his defense, and then like just like the light fence. I don't think he tried the overhand right except once where he missed and like he hit Tyrone's shoulder. And after that, he didn't even try the overhand right once in the 6th round. Like he just kept like jabbing to the body, and then after that in the 6th round, he fended like twice before he landed the overhand right, and it was right there like flush because Tyrone, after getting like I guess like hit with the hit like just touched to the body for like 6 rounds, he thought, okay, this is coming to the body, and I'm not gonna have to protect my upstairs. I don't think even against Chavez Jr. you can land the shot like that.
No.
I'll tell you what, you need to change your name. You ain't no casual if you even study to fight like this much. You certainly
you have studied. You're not a casual.
You're certainly no casual if you even studied this fight like that.
What's up, Gordon?
It just looked like such a pitch perfect. It's like a shot you land against your friend who just kind of like walked into the boxing gym like in 2-3 weeks in. It's like, dude, you are hella lazy. Like you think I'm gonna faint like like there like my whole 6 rounds, and I'm just like, you're not gonna protect you upstairs like that. It's like, come on, man.
Like, look, I was talking to people that I know, family members, and we like to tease each other. And they know that I like boxing, and we box. They're like, what do you think you'll do against Jake Paul? I was like, look, if I don't knock him out within the first 2 rounds, he probably just beats me. But the first 2 rounds is going to be difficult for him because my question, like a question for a guy who's older and doesn't have the money to get the best trainers, I could do all right, believe it or not. I could get me a nice trainer if I wanted to. But just to be dedicated to boxing, and then on top of that, you got age on you. There's a lot of wear and tear. It would all depend, and the window would be very small for a guy who boxed, for a long time. He did some amateur boxing. He did a lot of sparring in the gym. He always took care of himself as an athlete who's older now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe to go up against a guy like that. But I would not be shocked if a guy 35 from a gym, he's a construction worker. The way he works out is boxing and training in the gym, goes in there and fucking kills him. Like just destroys him. Because there's nothing special about him, like what? He punches hard? What do you think? These guys don't know how to punch hard either?
Yeah.
Like he's the only guy that knows how to punch hard?
And even if you want to do the UFC thing, at least put him in there with the UFC guys who have better boxing for their sport.
Who can box,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
He's knocked out two wrestlers. Like if he fights a Masvidal or Diaz or McGregor or Holloway or Poirier,
he wants Nate Diaz. What's up, guys?
Yeah, that'd be all right.
What's going on?
Isn't Nate Diaz already washed up?
If he could knock him
Nate Diaz, the Diaz brothers grew up.
Someone in the chat said
they grew up boxing.
How's he gonna killed? He ain't gonna kill nobody. You don't think
isn't
boxers die all the time? Boxers die all the time, man. So this idea that there's no way he could have died from a punch like that, he could have got a brain hemorrhage from a punch like that.
Oh no, of course, man. People die all the time from like a bad fall, after a punch.
Yeah.
It's
but but like I said before, isn't Nate Diaz washed up already?
Yeah, he kind of is, but his cardio still, I think, would still be top.
Box, though.
And he still has boxing experience, like Durden just said. He's still experienced with actual.
Yeah, I think it's just like
boxing.
at least. Yeah, I think it's at least like expecting a punch, right? Like expecting a punch, just like that millisecond, like affects like how you receive the punch. And I feel like Woodley didn't
he's
even
the brother
that
he's the brother that knocked out Nate Robinson, right? The basketball player. Is he the guy?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The younger brother.
Oh, it was the younger brother. Okay, so
yeah. So now his record is he's knocked out everyone that he's got in there with.
So,
but it's safe to say that Jake Paul actually has boxing skills. He just isn't he wasn't brought up to be a pro, but if he was, he would actually be a decent professional. He's kind of got what it takes. Not like he's going to be a world champ, but
it's just the
guy's got skills,
right? Like it's in other words, he won't go in there against. Now I don't know what happened with Tommy Fury, but it seems like, look, I've never. I think I've seen a few highlights of Tommy Fury. I gotta assume if you
Yeah,
grew
but
up in that family, you could fuck this dude up.
But you know
could
what?
fuck
I don't
up.
know if he did recognise because I think he had a different mum and that. So I think that he might have just like started getting in
Oh, okay,
contact
I
with them
got
the
you.
last couple of years. Yeah.
Tommy
So I don't.
Fury is the son of, you've heard that saying, same father, different mother. My brother from
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
mother.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's literally that. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think he grew up with the gypsy culture and that, with that like
Got
our
you.
Tyson and that. Yeah.
All right.
I
So
think
this,
he's come on
didn't,
late.
and so he has like no amateur background or anything like
And to
that.
be honest, the kid looks like half Arab, so I think John Fury probably fucked the Turkish kebab shop.
Oh man, John Fury was getting it in.
Yeah, he's
No, but
fucking
he's
No, I
solid.
actually
looked it
looks
up.
like
I looked it up,
he
and
looks
she's
like
like
a
this.
bodybuilder.
It's
No?
a weird ethnicity I've never heard of. I don't know, some small
is it?
island or something.
Gypsies?
It's like it's no, it's his dad's obviously. I think he's Irish gypsy. Then his mom's
He's
like
Irish, yeah.
some Irish island girl. I don't know. But
What's the
thing-
name of the island?
And either
What's
way,
the
the
name
guy
of the
I forget.
has the guy has
I
the body to be
forget.
like a
But you gotta look it up
bodybuilder.
on Wikipedia. I heard Stephen A. Smith talking. Stephen A. saying, "I don't care who he fights, but he's got to fight somebody that's a boxer. Even if he has 3 amateur fights, it's like obviously this is a spectacle. Jake Paul's not going to go in there with some unknown prospect amateur. It's got to be a spectacle. It's got to be someone with some clout, and that's what people are missing. So, who can he be in there with somebody that could test him, but also has the pedigree?
It's
Well,
also
someone
like
offer some money.
yeah,
If he's
I think
sticking with UFC, why not a Masvidal or a Diaz? One of the UFC fighters who we actually seen has a bit of an idea how to box.
apparently
Or a Dustin Poirier, something like that.
apparently he the latest is that he offered $5 million to Masvidal already. He said he's gonna give Masvidal $5 million if Masvidal signs the contract. So I think Masvidal is his next. He's going for Masvidal next.
I think you should call up
Even
Mayweather.
Masvidal though, he used to fight at 155. Like Jake Paul's way bigger than him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's another thing too. I was gonna say Jake Paul looks to be a big fucking dude. Like he.
Not only
I don't
that,
know,
it's like
200
not only
pounds,
that,
maybe?
not only that,
Jed.
it's like Jake Paul is fighting out of Puerto Rico now, so God knows what he's doing. And not only that, he's fighting. His conditioning coach is Victor Conte, who's the same guy that trains
So
Shane
you trying to tell
Mosley.
me I should be rooting
Devin
for
Haney,
I should be
yeah,
rooting
yeah,
for
yeah.
Well, what
Yeah,
about? I'll tell you what about
Shane
Israel
Mosley, when
Adesanya?
Shane Mosley popped
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
the Oscar
Adesanya.
Delaware
What about
fight.
Adesanya?
Israel Adesanya. That's a perfect opponent because I know Israel's even had a few
Adesanya. I
boxing
was
matches.
about to say that. I was gonna say, Jed. Like everybody's forgetting Adesanya. Didn't Adesanya had a boxing career?
Yeah, he's had 4 or 5 boxing matches, I think. So he's
Exactly.
a UFC
Why not
guy.
Adesanya? Someone his
He's
size.
probably closer in size. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dana's
think-
not gonna
UFC's
have
not
him.
going to allow that. They're not going to. He's in contract with the UFC. That's the problem. All these guys are with contracts with the UFC.
UFC? Wasn't Woodley with the UFC under contract?
Ah, but
Wasn't
no,
he?
he
He
left.
got
mate.
released.
He left.
No.
Yeah.
no,
Oh, he left. Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's why it's
Apparently
washed
Dana
up
White-
UFC guys because they're
Apparently
tough.
Dana
I
White is
think
saying,
Adesanya is one of White's favorites, and he's not going to risk the possibility of getting embarrassed like that. Because
Yeah,
Jake
I
Paul,
think-
you never
I think
know,
they're
man. He
probably
might
gonna
land
put
that
him-
punch and it's over.
They're probably gonna put him with They're gonna put Dana instead. He's gonna allow washed up Masvidal or Nate Diaz to go for instead of.
Well, they're under
Adesanya.
contract, so I don't know if he will. That like these lads were saying because they're still under contract. So yeah, I don't know if he would.
What's funny is Jake Paul exposed him. He did call him out saying, "You're under contract, like Daddy Dana," and like it's true. UFC's they got these dudes by the balls when it comes to these contracts.
Jake Paul should start
they
calling
get
out some
paid
top
shit.
rank
And
fighters.
Jake Paul's
and
like,
see if,
"Dude, I'm
they
getting
don't
paid
let some
millions, and you're over here talking shit like you're big and bad." Like, dude, you got Dana White's got you by the balls, and that's the truth.
What about
Yeah.
Chavez Jr.? What about a boxer Chavez Jr.?
I heard Chavez Jr. He can't fight anywhere in the U.S. because of the suspension because he missed drugs test. Like he didn't do a drugs test in Nevada, and because of that, he can't fight anywhere in
Who's
the
this?
U.S.
Who is this?
No, but I don't think Jake Paul fights a sanction because I don't think they have like the VADA testing at all because apparently like the guy that's conditioning him is Victor Conte, who's the same guy that conditioned Shane Mosley when he popped for the De La Hoya fight. So
He's also the guy that trains Caleb Plant.
Or Devin Haney.
I'm
think
100%
best
sure.
fight. Anderson Silva. That's
I'm 100% sure. Like Jake is
Silva
like,
beat
roided as
Chavez.
fuck.
Of course he is. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. There's no way. Like his first fight was against like that YouTube dude where he just kind of like jabbed or whatever, and then like all of a sudden like he's got like this huge frame and he's throwing like all kinds of haymakers and stuff like that. It's like I don't know. Right, guy like Masvidal who spent most of his career at 155. I don't know if he can handle like another dude that's like 50 pounds like naturally bigger than him, just throwing an overhand like
As far as
that.
I'm concerned, it's all nutrition, man. Someone just has a better nutritional diet. So
Anderson Silva, he's on the same supplements. He's already been popped multiple times. He's not under drug testing, and he's got skills for days when it comes to stand up. I don't think Jake takes that fight. No way he takes that fight.
And Silva, Anderson.
Didn't Silva just
Yes.
lose?
Andy Silva.
He just beat
I love
Chavez
Anderson Silva.
in a boxer match.
He beat Chavez, but
Yeah.
to be honest,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he just beat Chavez.
I got involved in the UFC because of Anderson Silva. That's how I got involved in the UFC, and like
Why
that's
why don't he fight that guy? That guy actually beat a boxer. He's not a great fighter, but he beat Chavez's son, right?
Yep.
Chavez
So
Jr.,
fight a
yep.
guy like him.
It's another, dare I
And he's
say,
Anderson
another
Silva's
black
pretty-
man to knock out for Jake.
Well, maybe. I mean, but at least it'll look good if he does, right? If he knocks out.
How old
it's
is
better
he?
than Silva's better than Woodley on the feet, 100%, and that'd be a better opponent.
How old is he though? I don't know.
He's pretty old. He's like
Anderson Silva got
45.
to be 40. Yeah. Wow, 45. Yeah.
45, I think. Nah, probably 47, I reckon. 46, 47.
God damn.
He'd be late 40s, I'd
Anderson,
say.
he is 46.
God
Yeah.
damn, man.
Yeah, because I remember when he came to the
46.
UFC, he was like 31, 32. I remember he wasn't even that young when he first came to the UFC. And that was like
But it's
15 years
like-
ago.
I don't know. It's like for me, I feel like anybody that has a 6-week camp from the UFC against a guy like Jake Paul, who's like used to setting up like his haymakers and stuff like that, and that's been training seriously like in a strategic way for like 3 years straight, it's kind of dangerous like for anyone, I think, because it's like these UFC guys, they seem to have tendencies where like they have no discipline halfway through and they get frustrated and they start dropping all fucking things and they start going into the wide stance. And it's like, I don't know if it's like, even if like with Masvidal, like somebody that's like 155, that's naturally smaller, and even if he does make weight, is he going to be so disciplined that like he can stop a haymaker from a roided like fucking steroid fucking 200 natural weight pound guy? Like, I don't know,
I guess that's what makes it interesting. That's why it would be interesting to see if he could.
Tell you what, though.
Hawker Mustang says Paul versus Tyson could be next.
No.
I thought that was Logan Paul. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I
I
heard
thought that was
Paul
Logan Paul.
Nah. Tyson kills him. Come on, man.
Logan Paul can't box, but Jake
Tyson's
can.
old as hell too, man.
Nah, Tyson's old, but like in the first 2 rounds, come on, man. He can still duck and move and underneath, and then he like come up with that like left hook uppercut. It's come on, man. Like Tyson's
Why
gonna
didn't he
kick
fight
him.
that Belfort guy that?
Yeah,
knocked
that's
out
what I was going to say,
Holyfield?
Dirt. The one that knocked out Holyfield, because he's got an understanding of boxing. You can tell just by the way he stances, he's better than most MMA fighters. That would be interesting.
I tell you what,
I
Jake
think-
Paul, real quick, you can tell it's getting to him. He's fighting nobody. Because that's when he said, all right, I'll fight Tommy Fury then. Because this dude's a boxer. He's undefeated. He comes from a heavyweight champion caliber family. So I don't think he's going to be picking off these dudes. I think this Tyron Woodley thing was only because he pulled out.
Yeah.
I think he likes to prove people wrong. He likes To me, that seems like the kind of guy that he'll go on his shield to prove people wrong. I don't think he's going to keep fighting these washed up dudes.
Hey, Kevin, what do you think about Belfort, the guy that fucking just beat up Evander Holyfield?
The dude's going to have a heart attack from all the steroids he takes.
He's a big juice, man.
You know what? He would be interesting. I think that you can sell that fight.
I think fucking Pulev should fight them. Pulev is out there knocking out everybody. All the
Pulev would kill him.
Pulev would murk him.
Yo, Pulev would murk both of those guys in the same night.
If Jake Paul knocks him out, then I'll say, yeah, that's a fixed fight. For sure.
Hey, we can get back to Jake Paul. I don't mean to change the subject, but
Can you imagine that shit?
You know?
Pulev was just fighting for the title. What was that, last year? He's fighting for a world title?
Yeah, he fought AJ.
Yeah.
Bro, he made that fucking UFC dude like do the whole dance, bro. Like he didn't know where he was.
Yeah, that was bad, bro.
Oh man, I feel so bad for that dude. I was like, bro, he didn't know where he was, bro. Pulev was just fucking like, this is like this is sparring, like.
Hey, who's gonna win between Ortiz and Charles Martin? Forgot his first name.
Ortiz and Charles. Oh man,
Ortiz that lost to Wilder.
I've got Ortiz. It'll be hilarious if Charles Martin wins that.
Yeah,
I think Charles Martin
cool.
beat him.
Bro, that'll be so funny. The so-called boogeyman gets beat by fucking Charles Martin. That'll be hilarious.
That just tells you that Wilder wasn't shit,
This
though. I
so-called
guess.
boogeyman, he
Yep,
ducked Joe Joyce. This so-called boogeyman, he ducked Joe Joyce.
Imagine the boogeyman gets beat by the walk this earth like a god. That's fucking.
I walk this earth like a god. I walk this earth like a god.
I like Ortiz in that. I like Ortiz.
Yeah, I like Ortiz still to beat that guy. Martin's trash.
It depends which version Luis Ortiz comes. If the version of Luis Ortiz comes kind of like when he fought against Wilder, like actually giving him trouble, I think he does beat Charles Martin, that version. But
I think Ortiz in a wheelchair could beat Martin, bro. Martin's fucking terrible.
I'm not gonna lie. Ortiz, the two Wilder fights is the only Ortiz fights that I watched.
The two Wilder fights. Yeah.
Probably the same. I think I watched them too, and maybe Brian Jennings. I think I saw that fight.
Oh yeah. I watched the highlights of that. I mean, Ortiz is like a seasoned, like Cuban school.
He's 50 years. He's 50 years old.
It doesn't matter, but like it's like the way that he's found, like the way that he was so focused and like stayed off like that Wilder right hand. That alone, kind of like how long he delayed that right hand. That alone, because like it takes a lot of fucking focus to stay off the right hand.
I agree. Ortiz isn't the boogeyman that Wilder fanboys hyped him up to be, but he still has some skills, and I think he's too skilled for Martin.
Of course
Martin's so average, bro. Like Martin made Joshua look like a master boxer. That's how terrible he is.
Yo,
Ortiz
can you hear me, bro?
probably gets.
What's up, FA? What's going on, my bro?
What's up, Hefe?
What are you guys talking
Hefe, you should probably try putting Hefe in your name so we know who you are.
No,
I think
this is my
that's
name,
bro. That's what
Bro, you
he
change
likes.
your name.
Hefe, I
change your name
don't
every
like
2 weeks, dude.
Hefe. I don't like when you use different names, man. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, on the
we
Discord,
hate
I
it.
hardly even know who the MXBC guys are.
Well,
because you guys keep
yeah,
changing your fucking names.
we'll do that next time, bro. But what are you guys talking about, bro?
We're talking bots. And
Well, first we're talking about Jake Paul more than anything, and then
Now we're on the super fight of Ortiz
I
versus
got a
Martin.
topic, bro. Like I was
Go ahead.
reading an article right now, bro. I don't know if you guys spoke on Ryan Garcia
Hefe's mic's broken.
versus
Hefe, speak
Isaac
a little
Hefe
Cruz
always sounds like that, man.
Ryan Garcia.
against
Yeah,
Isaac
Elko
Cruz.
said Ryan Garcia is the man.
Do you think that's a good fight, bro?
Ryan
I
Garcia.
mean, Ryan Garcia probably knocks him out, man. Like, let's be honest, man.
I think he does.
He just probably knocks him out. Like,
I think Cruz.
I mean, I guess
that
you can make the
little
fight. You
Cruz.
can make the fight happen.
Yeah, that little
Yeah,
guy
and
Cruz
you
will
think-
walk straight into
Cruz,
your
huh?
left hook.
Do you think Isaac Cruz is better than what we give him credit for, bro?
I don't know.
No,
No,
I don't
no,
think so.
bro.
I just think Tank's that shitty, and he made him look good.
And he had a
Tank-
style to give Tank trouble
Yeah.
with the high guard.
Let's be real. Like, put Isaac Cruz against Camboso or or put him against Lomachenko, and I think he gives him good fights.
I think he gets knocked out by both guys.
Let me tell y'all boys
Yeah.
what. Let me tell y'all boys something. Turbia, ain't no way Canelo signing up to fight him.
Who?
No way. Canelo will not sign the dotted line to fight Beterbiev.
I don't know. Beterbiev is like 37 years old. By the time Canelo gets him, it's going to be 38 years old. And I don't know. It's like he got, like Vosdik was like landing everything on Beterbiev. But then Beterbiev got him like later on. Like Beterbiev grinds you down like where you can quit. But like I don't know if Canelo is gonna have like every elite guy always gets off like there's a certain style that they fight in where they look amazing and then their highlights look amazing. But when they meet a guy of their same caliber, they can't fight the fight that they always fought in like the highlights or the way that they did. For example, Golovkin, for example, like anyone, like Canelo against Golovkin, like Canelo looked amazing. Golovkin looked amazing, but like when you actually fight a guy that's exactly your caliber and that has the power, that has a counter, and that has a power to match you, you're fighting a chess match, So like with Canelo, I don't think Beterbiev is gonna be able to land like those slow power shots that grind you down because every fucking slip that you have, Canelo's gonna have a counter for it. So it's gonna be a chess match. So I don't know.
That is a good point, but Beterbiev has made everyone he's fought so far like fight his fight, and he grinds them down eventually. So he has done that.
Beterbiev's one win over Gazdik is more impressive than Canelo's entire resume.
Yeah, Canelo probably still beat him, bro.
He beat Bostic. Bostic is anything better.
Well,
I was kind of impressed with Bostic.
Not if Canelo's got to win on Golovkin on paper.
He dethroned Stevenson's long reign.
But
brutalized him, knocked him out.
If you give Canelo the Golovkin win though in the second fight, the Golovkin win in the second fight's better than Gabosnik, I think.
You look at these 3 wins recently.
Not bad. Whether he paid for his wins,
Caleb Plant, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, Gabosnik's way better than them. 100%. Yeah, Gabosnik's better than them, for sure.
And then you look at any of these fights and it's like, what other wins on his resume that are big? Danny Jacobs.
No, I'd agree with you. Golovkin's the only win that's as good as the Gabosnik. I'd agree with that. I could argue with. Gabosnik is a great win.
He didn't beat them. He didn't beat him cleanly. That was
the second
Triple
fight.
G
That's
won
what
one fight.
Depends how you score. Second fight.
Look at Beterbiev stopped Gazdik brutally and retired him. Like Canelo got a gift decision in both fights, in my opinion. So that's why I say it's more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it, but I think I'd like to rather see Beterbiev fight Bivol because I like to see him go undisputed, go for your own history, like rather than the whole Canelo shit, because he could do it. He could grind fucking Bivol down and make him quit. I think
Bivol's the man in that division, personally.
And the people were saying about his chin, like Beterbiev's chin, it's suspect. Like he ate everything, walked through him like it was nothing.
Exactly, he walked through Brown.
Walked through Brown's punches, really walked through Gazdik's punches. Gazdik's a way bigger puncher than Canelo. And he was never hurt. Never hurt in that fight.
It's a different matchup, bro. When you talk about Canelo Alvarez,
it's a damn good matchup.
But the only question is, he's going to fight him when he's like 38, 39 years old, when he's on the back end.
Yeah, I think Canelo's going to fight him just when he thinks he could beat him. Like Canelo is on like that Floyd Mayweather time where he's going to fight guys where he thinks he's just absolutely 100% confident. And Beterbiev doesn't have that kind of leverage where he can dictate when he wants certain things. So I don't know. I think when Canelo does decide to fight Beterbiev, it'll be a time where he thinks the chips are on his side, and I think he's going to beat him.
That's always going to be Canelo's career, though.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mayweather.
That's too bad because he's fighting Makabu.
Well, thanks to Mayweather, dude. That's why I keep reminding people that fans are pieces of shit, and they ruined our sport.
But I think Makabu's got to fight if he loses to this guy Machunu. I don't think Canelo will fight that guy. So I think it depends if he wins his next fight. He'll get a cruiser.
What do you think of Canelo Usyk? What do you guys think of that?
This is the thing. People are saying He
was
beat all these
excited
guys
as
at
entertained to it.
168, but you look at them, none of them are impressive. Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant, rookie.
Well,
I mean, none of that matters, Kevin. I'm
Kovalev-
just saying that he can fight him, though. They can make the fight.
Kovalev, alcoholic, washed up.
Well, Beterbiev said that he's ready to fight Canelo if Canelo wants it, right? Didn't he say that recently?
So did
Yep.
Usyk.
What's the hold up between Beterbiev and Bivol?
I don't think Bivol wants that fight right now. I think they're waiting for Beterbiev to get a bit older.
So why is this
Nobody
guy
wants that
Joe
fight.
Smith? Why is this guy Joe Smith holding off the one belt? Because I mean,
Same thing. Doesn't want Beterbiev either.
He doesn't want Beterbiev.
God damn.
So should Zuro fight Smith?
Beterbiev is a caveman. Nobody wants to fight that dude.
Yeah, but it should be, man. It's like, come on, man. Like Beterbiev, like what I don't like about him is like he's fighting out of Canada right now, not out of Russia, where the hell he's from. So it's like, come on, man. Like try to get like like a few accolades under you, especially like if you're running out of time and like if you're that talented, which he is. It's like you should be pushing for these fights. You got fucking Bob Arum, fucking like as a microphone, you could call out these guys.
I remember that Gostic fight. Nope, that thing went way under the radar. I was looking forward to that fight big time. The unification bout against two undefeated champions in their prime.
Two
That fight
Olympians.
went totally under the radar, and just a really impressive performance. Destroyed that dude, dominated him.
Oh yeah, he
Retired him.
retired Vosdik. He retired him. And this is the same Vosdik that he knocked Stevenson cold. And it was during that same night as the Fury Wilder first fight. So like
Yeah.
I give Beterbiev's win over Vosdik a lot of credit. I think
Kinda forgot
Vosdik was
about
a
that
good
fucking
fighter
guy.
too.
Yeah. I think I was like that was like my first time like where I was just like, oh, this dude Beterbiev is like pretty much like stoned because he was getting fucking comboed like all the way through until the point like where fucking Beterbiev was like, I'm here all night, like you know what I mean? Like he was like getting hit with all kinds of combos, all kind of fancy pivots and stuff like that. He was like, no, I'm here till like the last round, and then once he like started grinding him down, it was just like it was over with, and I was like, oh shit.
And I was a Gostic fan. Like I thought he was like the next big thing. Like he was in the Usyk camp, Lomachenko. Them three were like three amigos, and like I thought I was really high on this dude, and to see him get walked down and destroyed like that, I was like, damn, this Beterbiev is no joke.
No, he like the first knockdown where he took out kind of like the knee and stuff like that. I was like, okay, so he still got a chance. He started coming back. No, he grinded down again. He grinded down again, like, and then he quit on the fucking like. He's kind of. I was like, holy shit, this dude is fucking. He's crazy.
And the thing is, he's not like that. He's from that humble. He's like that Khabib dudes when he first came up. He doesn't have the UFC marketing team behind him.
Chechnya?
Yeah, Chechnya, whatever it is. He's not like a flashy, loudmouth dude where he's gonna draw a bunch of attention. So he's got to do it with his boxing, and
yeah, even
that's
with
why.
that, dude. What's that dude that he recently fought? Fuck that dude with the dreads. Beterbiev. Who did he fight just now?
Brown, Marcus Brown.
Yeah, Brown. Like even I thought like with the big ass gash and the blood was streaming all over.
Yo,
Yes.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can.
Yeah, but if we're gonna talk about washed up fighters, Stevenson was 40 years old when Vosdik knocked him out.
I'm back.
Yeah, but I think Vosdik was like still looking really good, like all the way up.
Vosdik at the time he was like a prospect, or was he a contender or a prospect? I don't remember.
No, he was a champion.
One.
No, I'm talking about like before when he fought Stevenson. Before he fought Stevenson.
He was a contender, right? He took Stevenson's belt, who was like the lineal champion. He was the WBC and lineal.
I think not that
And
many
then-
people gave Boslick an
let's
opportunity
be
to beat
real, bro.
Stevenson.
Yeah, but
Let's
Stevenson was
be-
40, man.
But yeah, let's be real. Kovalev is a
I don't remember
much better
that. I thought
fighter.
people were
Yeah,
tying
Kovalev
him.
was still good,
But
man.
he was
but
a
Kovalev
he was
is
a
coming
live
off
dog
some
in that
good
fight.
victories.
He was a lot. Yeah,
Bro,
that was
can
a
y'all
50.
motherfuckers hear me?
Yeah, but he wasn't dominant. He wasn't
Yeah, we can hear
dominant
you.
as he was.
Your mic's a little low, Hefe. Yeah, but that was a good fight until, like, let's be honest too. He fought dirty in that fight too. What's his name? Beterbiev. He was fighting a little dirty. Part of his game plan. He
Yeah,
gets rough, boy.
yeah. I just remember him walking him down.
He
It
did.
got ugly, didn't it?
He got, he grind and took some shots to the back of the head. Bosnick took some shots in the back of the head.
Yo, how do I
Yeah.
sound now, bro?
You sound good.
Let me say this real quick, bro, because
You know what it is? I think he saw what he did to Stevenson. He's like, dude, that could have been me.
bro.
That could have happened to me in the fight with someone like that.
Let me say this real
You
quick.
think that's
bro,
why he
'cause
retired?
There's something about Kovalev, bro. Because y'all motherfuckers don't give. I'm not saying y'all, but I'm saying y'all and overall, right? People don't give Canelo credit for Kovalev, but think about it.
What
He
y'all
had just
what
come
y'all
off
saying?
his second
What do you
biggest
mean
win
by
in
y'all?
his
What
career,
do you
which
mean by
was
y'all?
Anthony. Let me finish, bro. Let me fucking finish.
That sounds
I
racist.
can't hear you. Can't hear you guys.
Speak louder.
Is Hefe talking?
He beat Anthony Yard, bro. Anthony
I
Yard
don't know
just
what's
beat,
someone says
just
quiet
beat the
and
dude
it's
that just
not
beat
quiet.
him,
I don't
bro.
know if someone's mic is not working for me or something.
If you really think about it, bro, Kovalev
Can you guys hear me?
was in his prime when Canelo beat him. Believe it or not. And not only that, bro, but he had beaten Eleider Alvarez, another great fighter. He had beaten two dudes in a row before he fought Canelo Alvarez. And all this, oh, well, he had weight classes. You have yet to prove it. Like solid proof that he had that he was drained or he had weight classes, bro. Because there's no
Yeah.
proof of that. It's all conspiracies.
Well, look, you will say this.
First of all, I don't rate Yard at all. Yard
Hold on,
is
time out,
not
real
a
quick.
good fighter.
He didn't fight the Kovalev in his prime though.
In his
But
prime.
he was
right?
still solid. He was still good.
He was still solid, but
He wasn't a
Pre
complete
Andre
bum.
Ward.
but he wasn't folding. You would say this. He wasn't folding the way he was prior to meeting up with Canelo, right? He got knocked out by bullshit knockout for me, but whatever. He still got knocked out by Andre Ward or stopped. The referee stopped the fight. Eleider Alvarez. And so he had shown that he's not the same Kovalev, even though he could beat Anthony Yard, but that's not really saying much, and
Also, he had issues with alcohol too.
He beat Alvarez too, but dude, that alcohol excuse. You know how many boxers are on drugs?
Yeah, I don't want to get into the alcohol excuse either.
Yeah,
bro.
I
That
think
guy
that's
took a dive.
bullshit too,
I think he
man.
took a dive. That's just me.
I think so too, but like if I have to
Yeah,
break
I
down
kind of feel he did.
Yeah, but there's no proof. Nobody can prove that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'd rather just talk about what I saw in the ring. What I saw in the ring was he looked weak, bro. He just looked weak. He wasn't really. You could say credit to Canelo, fine, okay. Let's credit Canelo, but
but that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like,
but back in the days, you wouldn't get that from him. Going into the Canelo fight, you wouldn't get that from.
No, but Kovalev, you can't really like attribute like Kovalev's downfall to the Andre Ward losses, because even before the Andre Ward losses, he was trying to look worse before and after Andre Ward. So really,
I disagree on that.
Break it down, bro.
Take.
Like,
he didn't look good.
I
against
disagree on that take. I
guys
disagree
remember
on
the
that
Chilemba
take
fight?
when you said that he was shot even before the Andre Ward fight. I disagree on that take.
No, he
Dude,
was.
if you look at just Canelo's accomplishments. What?
What is
Hey, are
this?
you on Discord or something?
What the fuck?
Like Coco's talking
what
shit
am I
to,
hearing? What am I
to
hearing?
Hefe's
What am I
mic.
hearing in the background, man?
Recognize I'm coming for you, bro. I know where you live.
Coco's talking shit.
Oh, that's all
Come
okay. Oh,
through.
hell no.
That's Coco. I don't know how Coco got on here.
How do you
How you
link
doing, little man?
Discord to YouTube, bro?
Are you still
I
on
mean,
punishment?
stream links.
Coco, are you still on punishment? Coco, are you still in punishment? Are you still punished?
Let me out the basement, recognize.
Coco's my son. I got him locked up in the basement. It's my child.
Well, I thought Youngo was your kid.
Well, yeah, both of them. You know, they're my kids.
Hey, you recognize you'll never be white like me.
See, I'm the one that takes care of them, though. I'm their stepdad.
You're the
yeah,
so
dude, I'm cleaning up your mess.
I know it hurts.
You dated their mom?
Well, I adopted them, I think, just out of charity.
You'll
Nice,
never
man.
be Castizo with me.
So,
Go ahead.
Anyways,
what was I gonna
So
say?
you be a fucking shit-skin faggot.
Little bitch.
All right, he's trying to get you kicked, Tefe. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna mute him. You're on mute. You're on timeout.
What's up, Bay Area's here or what?
Yeah, Bay Area's here. Is that Bay? Okay, Puro Jalisco is Bay Area, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Damn, they all dropped out, man. What the fuck?
Everybody's dropping out. I'm not sure what it is.
Usually
Could
have
be
like
just
a
the
full
stream.
house here, Rick. Maybe you should have
Oh.
gone live last night.
I should have gone live last
I think
night,
that's what
yeah.
it is. Tuesday.
Boxing's dead too. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dead. There's no.
It's almost Christmas, so yeah.
Yeah, everybody's not in the boxing spirit right now. I got my boy Outlaw.
Oh, finally.
Still on.
Okay.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
like-
Everyone got, bro.
I don't
Everybody
know.
just left.
I think the stream was remember how I told you that my last two streams just ended on its own. Like I didn't end it, you know. Fucking ended on its own. I don't know, maybe, and I got to talk on my and I've just kicked people out again. God damn.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we got Big Boy Boxing. Salute. What's going on, bro? If you want a link, man, you want to jump on, I'm gonna drop the link, man.
Hopefully Anderson jumps on the link.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link again. Let's see. Invite people. If anybody wants to jump on, man, just hit the
What
link,
subjects you got going on?
Well, it's anything really, because there's nothing like you guys saw my you guys saw the profile to the video. I have Beterbiev bleeding out of his ass after winning, after scoring a knockout.
The Brown headbutted him or something?
Brown headbutted him for sure, man. But Brown's a quitter, man. I noticed that about him. I don't
know.
I just personally think that
he's a front runner, bro.
Sorry, recognize for interrupting.
No, I was just gonna say that he's a front runner. But go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say, like, people are saying like that Marcus Brown quit. I kind of feel like he took a lot of punishment from Beterbiev, and like,
yeah,
I just kind of feel like he felt like he didn't have any. He felt like he was gonna get knocked out cold. Like I just feel like I just kind of believe that, like, he just knew that he wasn't gonna stand a chance at beating Beterbiev, so he just looked for a way out. He took a lot of punishment.
Shots was starting to take
body shots, headshots.
Headshots.
Yep, took a lot of punishment.
He was bleeding too. He was cut. He was bleeding a lot too. I mean, he may have caused all that himself. So, he was done, and he checked out. But it's not like he checked out like no mas style, like on the stool. It was from punishment. It was from actual punishment. Salud, Guerrero. Tyrone Ennis. What up, Tyrone? You can hop on, man. You look real serious in that picture, man. Like you're not playing no games. What do you guys think about Tyrone Ennis? You guys hear me? Yo.
Yeah, we can.
Damn. How about
I can
people in
hear
the
you.
chat? Let me know. Anybody in the chat, man, let me know if you can hear me. I wonder if Tyrone Ennis is related to Jerron. Yeah, man. Hop on. Hop on, bro. It's an open topic, man. What are we looking at here? Guerrero. Jerron's your nephew? What's up, man? Yeah, you look like a Philly cat. Like a dude from Philly. I don't know. I say Taylor. Taylor wins
Yeah,
that fight.
Taylor has been more proven than Ennis at this point.
I don't know about that either, man.
The heck is Taylor?
Maybe
I'd say he's proven at the moment.
Oh, Josh.
Wait. Tyrone, don't let me find out your L dog. Prove you're not L dog. Got outlawed back. How long you getting kicked out, man?
Oh no, bro. No, I'm in a taxi. I think I'm driving through areas that cut me off, you know.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So I'm in a cab drive, you know, in the back of the taxi.
Nice. All right, there you go.
Cruising.
Wow, man, it's real
So
quiet.
what is it,
out
early
there,
in the
right?
morning or what? Or is it just early in the day?
It's 6 in the Arvo, but it's got real cold, so I think everyone's gone over to the beach and that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're on the down
Yeah.
under.
Down, yeah, everyone's fucked off. That's a Greek school, actually. Fucking Cambosis probably went
Also,
there.
you're passing
Why isn't
through
it
Cambosa's
It's supposed to be
neighborhood.
summertime right
Nah, it's not.
It's supposed to be summertime
Yeah,
now?
summer just hit. Yeah, summer just. Yeah, it's just started December. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your summer starts now, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Just started.
Argentina. Yeah, Argentina. I went to. I've been in Argentina twice. Once in the summertime, and it was like their winter. It was like August or something. Then I went there on a like December, or early January, one of the two. I forget.
Yeah.
And it was their summertime. It was actually really nice.
I've been to Chile. I've been to Santiago.
Santiago,
like
yeah.
during the summer, it's colder. It's colder. Like at that time, like it's a lot. And then during I've been to Santiago studying abroad. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Kept
It's
kicking me
funny
off.
how.
Connection sounds good now though, because you sound clear.
Yeah, you
Must have
sound
been where I
good
was
now
going.
for sure, man.
Yeah, it's all good now. Yeah.
Man, it's quiet like fucking New York, man. Over there.
Yeah. I'm going to this is a quiet area though. This is like this is a quiet area. You know? Down to
Well, you'd be
visit
surprised,
someone.
Arlo, man. That's how New York looks now.
Oh, you know what they recognise? The jail's up here, so I'll keep this on for you. Full screen it in a minute. You'll like this. Full screen me now. I'm coming up to the jail.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Like keep going, bro. Wait a minute. There you go. There's a prison, see?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There we go.
I can actually tell that's a fucking prison. They all
Some
have
of the lads are in there.
same
Some of the
look,
lads are in there, bro. That's Long Bay. It's called Long Bay Correctional.
Long Bay. Yeah, Long Bay
Long
sounds
Bay.
dangerous. Sounds dangerous as fuck.
It's pretty big, bro. It's still going, see?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I was gonna say it's still going. It's a lot of acres, for sure.
Yeah. My father doesn't drive past it till this day. He just doesn't like the feel of it, you know? He turns off if he ever has to go past it.
Oh yeah,
He'll cut a
man.
left.
Like sometimes I'll ride past. There's an area in
Lefty,
Queens.
bro.
There's
This
an
one coming
area.
up, though.
There's an area in Queens, right, where it takes you to Rikers Island. Rikers, right, obviously it's an island, but it's the last part of that part of Queens where they'll take you into Rikers. Sometimes I don't like going over there, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
bad.
yeah. Because I've been there a few times. So
Keep going, bro. Keep going up. Yeah.
Recognize. Have you?
This
Have
is
you
a project
gone
here as
past?
well. Recognize this one.
That's pretty cool.
It is a project. Recognise it's right near the. See this one here. It's right near the jail.
the
Chet
only
is gonna
projects
end
that I've
up in a
seen that is similar.
re-education camp. Oh my god.
The only projects that I've seen that is similar to New York are Philadelphia and Chicago. They have I notice a lot of projects throughout America, like they're smaller, I guess. They're like they're kind of small. I've been through in passing, not that I hung out there. In passing, I was in LA. I saw some projects over there that are pretty famous. I forget the name of it, but they were like famous in the sense that it's notorious for like rappers. It's a name that slips me right now, but I remember they're small. They're like small. It's like almost like if they're townhouses all connected. It's like in Florida. If anybody's been through like some of the projects in Florida, they're similar to that.
Yeah, Oxnard's got some spots too, like little tiny mini ones. Like La Colonia is like a project neighborhood, but it's kind of
they look like the projects in like LA, like or LA
oh,
County.
it's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like high rise, but it's just a bunch of little identical pads. Like
yes,
like
that's
I don't
what I
know,
meant
but it's
to
like
say.
you can just like walk to them though. Like they don't really have their own streets even. Like it's all like it's like a park full of pads, like houses or something. It's like weird. Like kind of like apartments too. Like I don't know. It's kind of weird. They're not like really high rise like in New York, but like it's like 2-3 stories. It's just like these you like park all far and like they walk to their little building and shit. I don't know, like I don't know. It's only like a few places like that. It's getting like gentrified though, to be honest. A lot of like the old spots they're getting into expensive like apartments and shit.
Aldo, what's up, Aldo?
What's up, Aldo?
Aldo's
It's
having
probably
issues with it.
micro issues.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I have a feeling it's the StreamYard, man.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. What's up, y'all?
Oh, finally.
What's up,
That's
Aldo?
why there's
What's going
homeless
on,
people
man?
in LA though. Like because like the
Well,
rent
there's
and
also
everything went up.
homeless people here in Sacramento too, so it's just
Yeah,
the
it's like
California thing.
California's rent went all crazy, and like the way that they're rebuilding all the old buildings into new ones where they're more expensive. You just got all these people living on the streets, and I don't know. It's just kind of whack. But I'm not trying to be a socialist or nothing, but they're saying like they need to do something with them. You know, I'm not saying anything bad either, but just like I don't know. There's just too many homeless people in California.
Are you from California?
Yeah, born and raised. Yeah.
So like I don't know how true this is, but a lot of times I hear that a lot of the homeless people, they're like from out of state. So basically it sounds like their policy is more than causing homelessness, it's attracting homelessness from other states, and they all come to California where they just basically
they might have
stay
like
there.
saved everything they had and like maybe got like a lease on an apartment or maybe had like a job, but then they just couldn't cut it. And then, I don't know. Some of them are supposedly ex-military and they just go there to fucking like, I don't know,
in New York, you know
together.
what they do? in New York, what they'll do throughout throughout the whole city, the boroughs, what they'll do is they'll take them and put them in motel rooms, what used to be like motels that everybody knew. If you drive by whatever highway, you would see these motels. They put them in there, or they'll put them in a school that used to be like a fucking school or whatever, and they'll place them in these like schools right in the middle of like some projects or whatever, especially like in the city and in Manhattan. They do that a lot. So New York sends the homeless to Jersey, Philly, and I think even Baltimore. That's how these motherfuckers do it, man. That's fucked up, right? They'll send them to other cities.
No, yeah, they're gonna do that with the Haitian refugees and shit like that too. They're just gonna send them in random cities throughout the United States once they figure it out.
Just to let the chat know, this is free flow stream today. Hey,
future champion boxers is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Future Haitian champions for the PPC. They're gonna make it happen, man. That's why I'm bringing them in. Biden's got it under control. Maybe I don't know.
What's up, OG? OG Boogie.
What's up, people? How's everybody?
I'm
doing good, man.
That's good. Every day you get up and you get to walk around, smell the air, pay some bills, and smack some people around, or it should be blessed.
Yeah.
It is
Look,
a blessing.
Man, I feel like a king every day I get up, man. Actually, I am. Right. Think about it. The reason why I say that is because I created a people, right? Like I actually created them, and I'm the king of that, of that little area.
Damn right.
So this is a free flow stream. A freestyle stream.
Yeah, I was hearing about how some Vietnam, or should I say veterans that's over there in California and stuff like that. I was listening earlier, but it's true that some people that especially like in San Diego downtown area, and like they even do it in fucking New Orleans. I just recently came from over there. I went to that marketplace over there. Yeah, man. The veterans that does it, they have mental issues and they don't know how to take advantage of things. It's just like you could say like a drug addict, that's coming off of fucking heroin. They go to a methadone place, even worse, to kick the habit that they kick, but they still taking in another habit. You know what I mean? And then you have other people that are mentally disturbed and the elderly, and nobody wants to be around. You know what I'm saying? And they just come to a harboring state that allows it to happen. You know what I mean?
When you go through Miami,
mm-hmm.
and you're by the bridge, you're going through the bridge. Let's say you're going on the underpass. You see all the homeless people, man. You see them all.
Yeah. I remember Katrina hit. After that, and I went to New Orleans to do some support over there, and yeah, man, that shit right on the Main Street where the bridge is at, the overpasses. You go down there, man. That shit was, dude, and it was a lot of shit going down over there. Like fucking people were mentally disturbed. People that was there were raping people. Just like what the hell.
I heard about that. I heard about that too.
Like what happened in the Superdome. Remember the Superdome when everybody started
girls started to get raped. Yep.
Yeah. and then the people that were doing it was mentally disturbed, and some of them, just violent criminals and shit.
Criminals. Yeah, just criminals. Yeah, I mean, they look. A criminal is violently disturbed. You know what I'm saying? They're just their mind doesn't operate like a normal person does.
Exactly.
They have they don't have any impulse control. So they see girls that are struggling. They don't want to be there. That's not their natural choice, is to be there. And, they'll take advantage of that, Some guys are scared to step in. They're like, I don't want no problems,
Yeah.
Or maybe they're straight out scared, right? They don't want to get fucked up or whatever.
I caught a dude. This fucking dude. I was coming out post and shit, and then this fucking dude, he was just totally falsifying fucking. So I asked him what unit you was in. You said you was in the Army. So what unit you was in? I said, oh, you was in this unit. Okay. So you was over here and stationed over here and supported this. He was like, didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. So I caught him again. I said, okay, so what was your rank? And he said, oh, I was Sergeant First Class. I said, okay, Sergeant First Class. So what's the soldier's creed? He couldn't even tell me that. So I said, dude, why are you wearing Iraq fatigues and wearing the old dress greens, and you asking where's your veteran card? Where's your disabled veteran card? He couldn't even pull that up. So I was like, man, this dude is fucking ate the fuck up. I said, yo, dude, if I was you, I wouldn't be saying that, because this compound has Air Force and other people, and people going to challenge your ass. You know what he did? He picked up his shit and walked off. Yep.
Yeah, he probably said, man, I don't want to get exposed.
Yeah, and there's a lot of motherfuckers that you could catch them exposing them, saying that I'm this and I'm that, and they really not,
There's a guy near Bushwick in the deli, and he always wears his Army fatigue, and he works at the deli. And I was like, dude, like, why are you wearing your fucking Army fatigue every fucking day and you're working in the deli? He's just hella proud.
Yeah.
It's not hella proud. Sometimes that shit, dude, you gotta let it go. First of all, we got the fuck out of the motherfucking military. Whether you went through combat or not, it's still you got a civilian life and you got a motherfucking military life. Military life is gone. Give it up. You know what I mean? Wake up to reality. Even though there's like people that get positions that were officers and shit like that, they never seen combat, but they still will fucking placate until somebody catches them. You know what I mean? Even though they were in the military, still they got some fake funk dudes out there.
Yeah, that's always going to be a thing, man.
And you gotta lead the, if I'm a civilian and you was ex-military and you gonna fucking try to act like if I'm some fucking recruit and shit, nah, I'm gonna sit you straight. I'm gonna be like, yo, motherfucker, first of all, military life is over. We're in a fucking free world now, okay? You need to take that shit to fuck somewhere else. For real.
Recognize, what year did you leave to like Florida? You say you live in Florida right now?
Oh yeah, but that was recent, man. That was very recent. Like last year.
Oh really?
Yeah, well, last year, man.
You were just done with New York, or is it like a family thing?
Well, no, I have, we already had plans to move out there. Obviously, after the COVID situation and all that stuff. We just decided to just do it now, and so like I already had a house there. And so all we had to do was just basically we would go there like every summer. Every summer
Okay.
we'll I've had that house for like maybe over 6 years. I've had that house.
Okay. So you were renting it the whole time, or
No.
Airbnb?
It was just mine. You know, it was my house. You know,
That was a little vacay spot every now and
it
then.
was like a vacation. Exactly, it was a vacation spot in the summertime, and they just decided to. It's better for us, you know. I'm used to it. I had to get my kids used to it because my kids and my wife loves it, but you know she's an adult, right? So she can make mentally she can make the transition. You know,
Right.
she wants to be where the weather's good all year round. My kids, obviously, they were like, you know, my friends and shit like that. My daughter
Yeah.
was all in. My daughter was like, man, once I'm done with high school, this is, and she graduated in 2020.
Right.
Once she was like, I'm going to Florida. That's after high school. So once I told her that we were moving, she was happy as fuck. She was like, yeah.
Well, there's better opportunities college wise over there, and especially the economy that's over there. You can find positions in anything that you want to do.
And most importantly, at least for now, and I always say that, at least for now, we don't have to deal with none of that shit that's happening in New York
Exactly.
with
The
the
whole
politics. Yeah, the whole all these
that shit is shut
mandates.
down, baby.
Yeah.
Mandate, fuck you.
Yep.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want, you know, especially when you got young kids, you know, they're still teenagers, young adults or whatever. They don't need to be going through that shit. Like I could handle it. That's not a problem, you know. I could handle something like that on my own. But when you got a family, you know, like if you just told me, well, you can't eat, I don't need your restaurants. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I've been to so many restaurants in my life. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna miss anything. But when you have kids that want to experience all that shit, you know, they want to experience going out with their friends, going out to a restaurant, how it feels to pay for your own food, and one day maybe, you know, they can buy for everybody else.
Yeah.
Just all that experience. You don't want that shit to be taken away from fucking politics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like even PA is of course a blue state, but you know, and still is ever since that dude or it, I don't want to, you know, left and things are starting to turn around over here, and it's starting to see like more freedoms over here. You know what I mean? Like everybody's not taking that shit no more. The sheeps are waking up. You know?
Yeah.
See, New York City it's always just New York. It's New York City. If you go upstate, you go like, especially the part of New York State that's going more towards the Midwest. It ain't like New York City. I know people be like, oh, they just think New York City, that's just the whole New York.
No.
It's bigger than that. Yeah, it's way bigger than that, man.
Yeah.
Like we have cities, we have parts of the state that really, if you look at it, it's closer to the Midwest than it is fucking New York City.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially Ontario Lake, Canada, even though that's in the border of Albany, New York, and fucking Canada. And then you got the west side of fucking New York. That shit is nowhere near like New York City. New York City is an entity of its own.
Yeah, and that shit is beautiful. The western part of the state of New York is beautiful over there.
Yeah, that shit is like Alaska.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like New York is like slowly turning around, but I don't know. It's just kind of fucking. It's just kind of weird, man.
well, it's the oligarchies that's over there that flexing with their muscles, with you know the financial muscle, and that's what controls politics over there.
That's right. That's exactly what it is, man.
Yeah. I mean, as long as like I don't know, like I don't know. It's like as long as there's like it's weird because it's like you want like a safe neighborhood where like it's like you want, but then again it's like I don't know, it's like you can't really like there's no police. Like this is the lowest amount of police I've ever seen on the subway. Like I can go a
That's why
whole
there's so much
3
crime
weeks.
now.
Yeah.
I could go a whole 4 weeks. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I've gone like 2 months or 3 months straight without seeing a cop in the subway. Like
Do
you
you know
never
something?
used to.
You want to know something, Viking? You know that
Yeah.
the crime rate in the subway is higher than New York City itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember,
So
you
think
know,
about that for a second.
I got fucking cousins that's over there now. They, you know, one is retired. He was a homicide detective, and then my other cousin, she's a captain, and she's getting ready to get the fuck out of there because she says she can't deal with the bullshit. And you know, I remember in my time back in the days in the 80s, 90s, I think I left the early 2000 I left. And yeah, you saw fucking auxiliary police in the subway. You saw it, motherfucker. You could tell the undercover fucking narcos and shit.
Yeah.
And then all the other fucking police. Now you walk in there, man, that shit like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like straight
Like
up
a
like
free for all in the subway.
yeah, you gotta jump like car to car to car to car just to get like to a sane car. It's like, dude, you get off of work, you don't want to be going through. It's like like just the anticipation of like something crazy. It's like you don't want to go through that shit. So it's like as like a native, you're just like you don't want to deal with that bullshit. So you're just like jumping on cart to cart to cart to cart. Like, but back in the day, or like a couple of years before, you were just like. Like nobody's gonna act up in a
Yeah,
certain way.
I could have rode a fucking train from the A train from Manhattan all the way to Stillwell Avenue, the last stop in Coley Island. Nobody fucks with you.
Yeah.
Now it's going back to like the way it used to be in the 70s and maybe the early 80s and even some of the 90s where it's not safe. I remember going through train stations, stops in the train station because I used to always go visit New York, even when I didn't live there. I would go because I've always had family throughout the city. I remember maybe probably in the 80s where you go to a station and there was no lights on.
You don't go
there was
there.
no fucking. You don't know what the fuck you're going into.
You don't go there
You don't
unless
go
you
there.
strap.
Yeah, that's it. And I remember that, and I remember people from my family that are old enough to remember. They were like, "Dude, that was the '70s. That's what we. Yeah, you knew like everything. Like certain train stations, they would tell you, we're not even gonna stop through here." You know what I'm saying? We're not even gonna. There was like no go zones back then.
In the Bronx and shit back in the day.
Bronx, yep, the Bronx.
Some parts of fucking East New York you can't go through.
I think you still can't go through some part of East New York.
yeah, like around Mother Gaston, you take the 4 train, and then you can also take
But they're trying to bring that. Like I was saying, the last time I was in New York, some people will ask me, "Is it like bad like the '90s?" Like they say, I'm like, nah. But the vibe is, you see now you see a lot of more bolder criminals, right? Because before it was like you knew that. So if you start reversing backwards, you go to the '80s, Wild Wild West, '70s, Wild West. It's like we do it right now. Whatever we're gonna do it right now. We're not worried about cops. The early '90s, same thing, right? But like then that started changing in the mid '90s. Then the late '90s, actually, New York was pretty safe. Then by 2000, it was one of the safest cities in America. I'm not saying the safest, but it's one of the safest cities in America. It's like up there, top 10. It went from one of the most dangerous cities in America, big cities, to one of the safest cities.
So when you start reverting backwards, it feels worse sometimes. You know, you get what I'm saying? The psychology is, we haven't seen that, right? Like, I haven't seen that in a long time, but I could get used to it if I was by myself. You know, if I was just an older man, I could, because I remember that. You know what I'm saying? I could remember it. But if you're like somebody who never seen it, it might be a little bit shocking for you, if that makes any sense. When you see more crime happening than you're used to. You know what I'm saying?
I remember the fucking 80s.
Just stay at home, fellas. Stay home, fellas.
LT, what's up, LT?
Recognize my carnal.
What's going on, bro?
Nothing, man. Chilling. Enjoying the show.
LT, le pasa, güey?
¿Qué onda, OG Boogie?
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Chilling, bro.
Good.
I'm gonna go for a cigarette, bro. Bro, I came home, bro. I slept right after work. I came home and I slept, bro. Just woke up, bro, and I have no idea how to go back to sleep, bro. I'm not fucking sleepy at all, man.
You know how you
Don't
do
you
it?
fucking hate when that happens, man?
You know what you do? You know what you do?
What, man?
Go pop some motherfucking magnesium. About 250
I got some
milligrams.
sleep aids, man. I got
Nah,
it. I
the
got
sleep
it,
aid
man.
shit is garbage, bro. The magnesium is better.
Magnesium?
Yeah, magnesium is better.
Fuck that. I'm gonna go get one, man. Be right back, man.
Yeah, LT, I'll keep you on. Don't worry about it, man.
Man, thanks, man.
But I feel like it's in every state now. It's like it's just we're going through like a transitional phase where it's like,
look at Philadelphia.
bro, I went to
Philadelphia
Philadelphia
actually-
recently for the first time in my life. I was shocked. Even from being from New York, I went there to visit a friend. I was like, holy
Philadelphia
shit.
always been like, okay, let me describe it to people that may not be from New York, right? Like may not be from the East Coast. So Philadelphia is what Detroit is to Chicago.
Hell yeah.
Right? So you hear Chicago, but actually Detroit is the real bad. It's a little bit worse than Chicago. Even when New York was really, it was probably a lot, probably significantly worse. But when you go to like New York, when it was real bad, there was this small city that nobody really talked about called Philadelphia, which was, to me, Philadelphia always reminded me of the Bronx.
Yep.
That's what it always reminded me of, the Bronx.
Yeah.
Now, the Bronx is the worst. The Bronx is the the Bronx is the worst borough. Now, that doesn't mean that the eastern part of Brooklyn doesn't compete. The eastern part of Brooklyn is, but it's a smaller section than the whole South Bronx, right? The South Bronx is bigger. And so that's what makes the South Bronx, in terms of like crime, the highest crime area in terms of all the 5 boroughs, right? But we all have like little sections in every borough and every city. So to me, basically, what I'm saying is Philadelphia always reminded me of the Detroit of the Northeast. Right, Baltimore's more the Detroit, excuse me, but Philadelphia is like that sneaky city that nobody talks about. I'm like, yo, it's really bad over there. It's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always been pretty bad. You know.
I don't know. I recently went to Philadelphia for the first time, and I was like, just being from New York, like I got in the subway. Bro, that shit is like just, I don't know. It was just like from the person that was like in the subway booth that I was asking for directions for, to like actually being inside the subway, and then the people that were waiting for the subway. It was just, it's like, you know, that recent news where like a lady got raped in the subway while other men were watching it.
In Philadelphia, yep.
Yeah. I just kind of could see how that could happen in those subway. It was just so, I don't know. It was so dark, and it was just like I could imagine that happening in the Philadelphia subway. It was just like very grimy, bro. Like nothing I saw in Philadelphia, even though I went through like, and then I walked for like 40 minutes because I had like 2 hours to kill. after I visited my friends. So I just like started walking through different neighborhoods, right? And then I saw USPS like post office dude, and then I was like, dude, I've been walking 30 minutes. I'm trying to go to the museum. I'm trying to go to this place or whatever. I'm trying to see like like Philly cheesesteak or whatever. I've never been here, so I was like, am I walking through a safe neighborhood? And then he saw my hat and he was like, you're from New York, and I was like, yeah. So like you should be all right.
First thing he told you, take your hat off.
And I was like, no, I'm gonna be all right either way. But I'm just telling you, like, I don't want to step into a certain kind of situation or where I have to talk out of
Well,
it.
there's a lot of New Yorkers over there too. There's a lot of New Yorkers over there. The
Bro,
reason why
the
they're over
fucking
there
city
because
is run down, bro. Like the city is run down. I was like, holy shit! Like the back blocks, where you end up in like the back blocks where like people are like zooming through in like the Hellcat cars and stuff. I was like, holy shit! This city is run down. Like this city is run down.
it's dying. Like Baltimore died, Detroit died, Philadelphia is dying. You get what I'm saying? It's dying. Like it's
Baltimore lives. I'm not that far away from Baltimore.
Yeah, man.
Actually,
like a lot of these
Baltimore
cities,
is like
a lot of
50
these
miles
cities
away
are,
from you.
I think a lot of this is a scam, to let these cities go into like disarray.
Oh man, and have the globalists pick it up and own it.
That's
yes,
right.
sir.
That's right, LT. That's right.
Shit,
Bro.
that's what they did to fucking a majority
That's
in New
what they
York.
did in New York. That's
Yeah,
exactly
they
what I was going to say.
gentrified.
Yes. So it started in the 70s or the late 60s, actually, right? And it went all the way into 70s was the decade of burning down buildings, right? Just burning down and crime going up, right? Because crime was bad in the 70s too, in New York.
Especially 75, the blackout.
Right. So the 80s was the crack era. 80s was the crack era.
God damn, we telling our age, bro.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't remember the 70s.
Oh yeah, you guys some old timers, man.
I was born in 73, so I don't remember. I mean, I may have like little vague memories of
69, baby.
Yeah, you 69, right? Maybe you have a better memory of the 70s. But I remember the 80s, the 80s, the crack era. The early 90s was the last.
If you guys tax any girls you tax any girl under like 40 years old, you guys feel like child molesters or what?
Huh? What?
Huh?
Nah, you know what I mean? Like you're way older, When you fuck a girl in her like early 30s, do you guys feel bad or you just
No. If I was to bang a chick in her 30s, I feel like the man.
Shit,
Like,
I was
especially early
banging a
30s.
chick when I was 16. I remember I was 16. She had 2 kids already. She was 30 years old.
Oh yeah,
She was
30
30.
year old.
She
30
was
year old
30.
girls.
I smashed it.
Yeah, man, 30-year-old chicks, they could be perverted.
Yeah, but nah, bro. I've been happily
Hella
married.
perverted.
I've been happily married. I have 3 kids for 26 years, brother.
Oh hell yeah, man! Congratulations.
Yeah.
I just recently changed. It's about like 7 years now. Well, I've been living.
Yeah, I remember when you got you took that picture. Remember when me and you was talking about when you got you was engaged with the girl. You went vacation or some shit, Miami.
Yeah. I told her, yo, let's do it. Let's do it. We got 2 kids. Fuck it. Let's get married. Let's do this shit the right way. She was like, all right, I'm down. We don't got to be perfect. But
relationship. The whole thing about a relationship, you gotta meet that girl that's gonna follow the compromise plan or the plan that y'all put together, and then follow it. That's it. And you just have communication, open communications.
You know what it is? The modern women today, man, they're brainwashed, man. They're brainwashed.
Hey, tell me about it, bro.
They're
Speak on
brainwashed,
it, bro.
LC. Well, think about it. They want everything, right? They're like, I want a man to be a
They
partner
want a better
with.
pay than you.
I want a man
They
that
want
makes
all
money.
the rights.
It's like,
They
dude,
want to be equal, and they want to be your
It's like,
boss.
who are you looking for? Who is that?
Yeah, they want it all.
Show me the
They want
guy.
to be the boss, and they want you to make more
Dude,
money. than
here's the thing, right? Show me the guy that makes a lot of money, and on top of that, wants you to be his partner. No, guys with that make a lot of money want a obedient wife. They want the more traditional style.
All those dudes are just weird, and they like being alone. That's why they're like so into chasing money. They don't even want a relationship. With
Exactly. When I hear girls speak about what they want, it's like the modern women I'm talking about, and not all women are like this. I'm not saying that, but a lot of times I hear girls speak, and I'm like, sweetheart, you're talking about a fantasy. You're not talking about reality. Reality is that it doesn't work that way.
Then again, it's the art of the pickup game too. Like a lot of middle class like guys get like find girls, dude. It's just all about your game, you know.
Yeah, it's just
I've
game.
been saying that.
So, yeah. I remember working the clubs, and I'll see these girls. I would work multiple clubs, right? And I would see these chicks, right? And they like, you know, obviously they're club hoppers. They go to different clubs. And real pretty. Like they're real, you know, sexy. They're I would say the top 10% of the hottest chicks, right? That frequent these clubs. And I would see them, and it's like, sweetheart, how long do you think that's going to last? You better snag one now. You know what I'm saying? Snag one right this second and start working on, you know, being a good wife. You know what I'm saying? Because and you could tell that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a guy that a lot of them are just looking for a good time, but sometimes you can tell. Actually, a lot of times you can tell they were looking for a guy that can, you know, make them a wife and shit. You know.
It's on most
The
fucking
clubs?
dating apps, bro.
Oh boy.
LT.
It's always better to meet a girl in person, though, I think, than on dating apps.
Bro, meeting bitches at the club, bro. I don't know if that's a good idea.
No.
I mean, it's good to fuck them, but until they're like just that.
No, you meet them outside of that, though. You want to see like how they are when they're not at the club. You know what I mean? But then, I don't know. It takes time, bro. You just got to get like 10 of them like lined up. Like, all right, I'm gonna
Bro,
meet
if I fuck you in the if I fuck you on the first day I meet you, bro, my mind ain't changing about you. You know what I mean? Like, no, this bitch. You know what I mean? It's so fucking hard to take you off that. You're a hoe. You know what I mean?
Chasing the wrong girls out there. You got to find the ones that don't fuck you on the first date, bro. You got to find them. That's your mission.
Yeah, girls know what they're doing when they hit up a dude on the first night. You know, they know what they're doing at that moment.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
all right.
look for the ones that like kind of play hard to get a little bit. You know, make it a challenge.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
the one
you
you
can
want.
meet those at clubs and concerts. I mean, there's always that chick there with her friends that are she's playing fucking.
Well, you know what it is? A lot of times girls just overplay. They overplay. I hate to say it, but they overplay who they are, their value. It's like, okay, and it's not all girls. I'm talking about some girls that are like
I'd say
social
majority,
climbers.
yeah. I would say majority.
Social climbers, right? These girls that are social climbers, they're looking for a dude that's got some status, cash, you know, whatever. And I'm like, sweetheart, what do you bring to the table, though? Okay, you're a good-looking chick. Are you a good woman, though? Like, do you have good values? I mean, because if not, you're just going to turn out to be, you know, some jump off or like a side chick. You know, it's basically what you're going to be.
Exactly. If you catch me fucking your sister, would you leave me? So you stand right behind me and have my back.
Yeah,
Like, what kind of bitch are you?
Come on, just tell me you're joking.
Sometimes I listen to these girls and I just used to like to talk to them, You know, he made the night go by fast, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you know," and he said this, and he said that, and then you know, it's like he's not really on my level. I'm like, sweetheart, you're not really on anybody's level. Like in my mind, back of my mind, like you're not on nobody's level. Yeah, you're not even on the radar. You know, because you're just so overthinking things. You think that you're gonna just get like this perfect individual. Like men are
You're gonna
more
get
realistic.
motherfucking what's his name? The dude Camelot from Camelot. Fucking
Right. It's a fantasy basically.
yeah,
What it is, it's a
exactly.
fantasy. It's like they're gonna get, check it out. They're gonna get the best looking guy who makes the most money, who is the most loyalist guy, and sees her as her partner, his equal. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're never gonna meet that guy.
Have you seen that? I mean, I didn't see it, but I've
It's
seen the preview
not,
for
bro.
the Gucci
And if
movie.
they do meet that guy, he's probably a faggot, bro.
Hey, hold up. Maybe you're
You
right.
know what I
there.
mean?
You know that
Go ahead,
preview for the
Doug.
Gucci movie? Have you guys seen the preview for it? I think it's with Lady Gaga or something. But like, it's like the wife is like telling him like he was talking about his company. She goes, "Our company, babe," and she holds a ring up. You know, like she thinks like both of them own Gucci.
Lady
Maybe Gucci was a
Gaga.
faggot.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, it's like, and you know what it is, man?
Oh
And
man, did I
it's
say
really,
a bad word? Shit.
no, it's Jordan, it's really the media and school, like, you know, the universities and stuff like that.
What's her name?
They,
Lady Gaga.
yeah, she's just disgusting. I mean, bro, there's nothing I don't even know what that is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what that is. When I look at her, I don't know if that's a woman, that's a man. I don't know what that is.
Mangina.
Yeah, more likely.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
You see, a
Yo,
man.
man, how you like this floors? I just got them put in and shit. Check this out.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Nice, man.
Oh.
Yeah, very
Cool.
nice. Yep. I have similar. I think I have the same ones in my old house in New York.
Yeah, it made it fucking. You don't hear the footsteps no more because we had to put back a board. Then we did the fucking. It's called subway tile. We did the subway's tile style. Yeah.
Nice, man.
I'm getting ready to fucking rip out this damn Berber carpet and fucking go wood through the whole.
Hey, did you hear, Viking? Did you hear about that case that just happened in New York? I was somebody sent me the story. So it was in Brooklyn. So there was a girl. Yeah, there was this chick. She has a kid. She had a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend that she broke up with, and it looks like she's still dealing with the baby daddy.
Oh man, the plot thickens.
So check this out. Ex-boyfriend comes through, climbs the window. They live in a house. Climbs through the window.
Shit.
Kills the baby daddy. Killed him. This happened in New York.
Damn.
Yep, in Brooklyn.
He went through the fire escape.
No, he went through the house.
Oh damn.
They were living. The chick was living in the house. Now I'm assuming that she lived there, and not the ex-boyfriend or the baby daddy. The baby daddy had just came from the West Coast, whatever he was doing over there.
Gangster.
Okay? He just came from the West Coast back to New York, and he went to go see obviously his kid and the chick that he had a kid with, and the ex-boyfriend sneaks in through the window, which is weird, right? Sneaks in through the window and fucking kills him.
Was she down with it?
There's no mention of her being down with it. In fact, she was like, neighbors said that she was outside screaming, "Help me, help me!" Because when he was done shooting at the
Baby
his
daddy.
competition, the baby daddy.
Damn.
He pointed the gun at her, and he tried to shoot, but there was no more bullets.
What the fuck?
So he emptied out. He emptied out. I'm not saying he hit the guy with all the bullets, but he definitely killed him.
So in other words, he didn't know how to he didn't know the capacity of his weapon.
Right.
And
he just kept
Yeah.
blanked out, right? Like he's just that type of person.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know. In New York, like a lot of things that we used to hear, just kind of like as like a like a passing news thing, is just kind of like enabled now, where it's like we hear it every day. So like I'm at a point in New York where like I turned off all the news just so that I don't get like hyper anxious. Like you don't want to be that guy. Because I got a girlfriend and stuff like that. She's working in the city and stuff. I got a sister. I got a sister. So like I'm like trying to make sure that I don't get like into that violent mindset where it's like I'm having to be anxious all the time, or like like I gotta shoot. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't want to get into that mindset where it's like I'm like hostile towards any dude that's coming at me. Like I'll be going out on like a weekend and I'm so like, okay, if this dude does something, then I'm gonna shoot. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that kind of guy. So like I kind of just turned off all the news. It's like whatever. Like if you're looking at me a certain kind of way, or like if you did something to my whoever's like like hanging out with me, I don't want it to get to that stage where we like have to like think about killing each other. Because like the news is fucking crazy right now, bro. Like, cause it's
The
like
news will the news will convince people.
Brainwashing.
It's brainwashing. They will convince people
Manchurian
the
Candy.
reality that they want, right? So they're
sure.
talking about this is happening, that's happening. And when you look outside, you're like, I don't see it. I don't see it happening around me. But if you keep listening to them, you're gonna feel like it is around you.
Hey Viking, check this out. I'm gonna make your thoughts go away. Check this shit out. This is my new project. I'm gonna be starting in 2 months.
Oh shit! What is that?
Nice, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely nice, bro.
Yeah. That's what we don't have here. Space. All that car. No, that's good. That's good. In New York, we don't have that. It's like I don't know.
Did I fucking get rid of? Did I get rid of OG Boogie by accident?
I think you just kicked him out, bro.
Yeah, I think I did. I went to kick him out. Fuck.
But it is what it is. I
OG,
mean, I'm like significantly young, but I don't have to like think about certain kind of stuff like that. But it's like it's definitely getting to that stage where it's like New York is starting to be. I don't know. It's like at this point in time, like I can't really like because of work and stuff like that, I can't really like quit New York or the city in and of itself. But then again, it's like what I mean. Like you know what it is. Like recognize like you feel like a certain kind of hostility piling up against you. What are you gonna respond to as a man? Like, are you gonna vote? You're gonna be like extra more. Like if it's violence, then you're gonna be extra more like cautious against violence. And I don't want to be that way, so I just kind of like turned off like all certain kind of news, because especially like I have a lot of like women around me, sisters and girlfriend, so it's like I just kind of feel like you know what I mean? Like maybe I'm better off like paying no attention to like these kinds of like stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's better not to. Just keep,
Do what you
obviously
feel
like you
is
always
right, man.
do.
Yeah, like so when my girlfriend goes uptown and stuff like that, I'm like, no, you don't go past this street. Like if you go past 125th Street, on like a 456 train, you better let me know. You know what I mean? That's what I tell my sister. I'm always like, okay, if you're in this part of Brooklyn, you don't go past this. Like, you know what I mean? Like certain places you don't go past. And this is the first time in my life in 12, 13 years, 14 years in New York that I'm having to tell my sister and my girlfriend that. And it's kind of a shame. But then again, like, even
You have
if
to
I'm
tell
like
them where they
strapped,
can't go.
yeah. It's like, even if I'm strapped, like, it's like I'm not with you. So it's like, with me, I don't worry about, like, because I've been here all my life. But like with my girlfriend and stuff like that, like with my sister and stuff like that, I'm just like, dude, like, don't go past this, or like, what time of the day is it? You know what I mean? Like, don't go past this street at this time. You know what I mean? This is the first time in my life in New York City where I'm having to say these things. So it's kind of a sad thing, but then I don't want to advertise it, or I don't want to make it like any dramatic than it has to be. But like, we're at that stage. You know what I mean? It's like,
I
dude,
remember my daughter. She went to New York over the summer. I think she might have been there for the 4th of July. Yeah, actually it was. So she, like, I think I was texting her and we were going back and forth, and I'm like, how you? I think I was like, how you gonna spend the 4th of July? And she was like, oh, I'm going to Coney Island. And I'm like, so I'm thinking to myself, right? Coney Island's been safe for a pretty long time. It was still a little shady at nighttime, but it's still pretty safe. But I'm like, we're in 2021 now. So automatically I'm like remembering Coney Island back in the 80s, the 90s, right?
Right.
Where shootouts would happen. So so I'm like, be careful. I tell her, listen, you need to be careful. And so she's like, oh, I was like, who are you going with? She's like, Dad, I'm a big girl. Which she is. My daughter's 19. She's like, I'll be fine. I was like, all right. Just left it alone. Next thing you know, she's she's texting me, right? She's like, Dad, can you get me an Uber? So I'm like, what happened to yours? She's like, I don't have enough money to go from Coney Island to where she wanted to go to. And so I'm like, all right, cool, I'll get you an Uber. Just give me an address. So she tells me, she gives me an address. I'm trying to get her an Uber, right? And it's taking a long time, right? It's 4th of July, so it's taking a long time to get. Some people are just, I get a call, they'll cancel. So finally, she's like, Dad, you need to get me a car. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, and can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo.
Yep.